can also take like storyteller quizzes to make sure you're like doing like a good job and like
interesting
checking the characters. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like super prep hard for this.
Okay.
And then for you guys, it's just like basic understanding the game, and like everyone gets a character sheet.
Love that.
That explains like what each of the character does.
Love that.
But I'll also probably send at least one or spam you with a lot of videos to watch. But you guys both have my dropout to go watch the Further Room episode. It's like a 2-parter.
Okay.
Do they label them with the games, or do they type it?
Oh, I will say, before you guys go further, just start remember, in conclusion, fuck them kids.
Do they label what?
The dropout episodes by game.
Yes.
Okay, great. That would make it. I'm like, I really hope they do, because otherwise I
Yeah, no, it's like wavelength, like
great.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
Guns
so.
and gold, like this,
So scheduling wise, I think Jordan and I think we'll both be busy on the 26th because we have a Rocky thing on the 26th. And I am also on vacation. So, do we want to do something on the 2nd? Yeah. So we can do first. We have a PowerPoint night and also bad movies, right? So are we gonna watch Divorce at the Wedding?
We can. I also have proposed chopping off.
I mean, depending on how long they are, I'd be fine for doing multiple.
I think they're like not in the tradition of bad movies. They are both expectedly not that long.
Then yeah, but I'd be down to do multiple. And then yeah, sometime maybe after that we can do the one on the clock tower.
Yeah.
I will say I do get what you're saying about November 2nd not hitting quite the same, but we can make it hit the same because I have a bunch of pumpkins, real and fake. I will bring them. You know, we can have costumes. We can bring candy. You know, we can help keep the Halloween spirit alive. And also, you know, it would really help sell it as Halloween. I'll give everyone a special Samhain, or I believe it's pronounced Samhain, tarot reading. Yes, because I can do tarot readings, by the way. And I feel like that's a good Halloween-y thing.
Yeah. I think I am happy that for Rocky, I probably will end up putting my mom.
Yes.
I'm happy to reuse my costume for November 2nd.
Yes, hell yeah. Oh, I will say, speaking of Halloween and Rocky, my parents are coming to see the show on November 1st. My mom's birthday is on October 29th. So don't tell my mom. She doesn't watch my stream, so I'm not worried about this. But
this is the 1 week your mom tunes in.
I'm like, whoa.
But yes, if mom is tuning in, I apologize for the spoiler I'm about to make. But Liz Collindine is going to give when she does her director announcement at the beginning of the show. She's I think going to give a little birthday shout out to my mom when she and my dad come to see the show.
That's very sweet.
I'm going through all my Bumble likes because of how dating apps are.
Yes.
In like 3 hours, I had 500 plus likes, but they're from like not even people who fit my parameters. So it's like I have to then.
Tragic.
Yeah. Did I tell you about my one friend who like he got like he got Tinder. Like he's like, oh, like that was his first dating app, and he was like showing it to me. I think we were going to a concert together or something. And he was showing it to me, and he was like, look at all these people, and he was swiping right on all of them. And I'm like, oh, I guess you're matching with a lot of people. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you're swiping right, so you're matching with all of them. And he was like, I thought swiping left was matching with them. And I was like, no, other way. And he's like, wow, this is gonna create a lot of awkward conversations.
I will say, Legends of Tomorrow had a very funny gag where, like, the bad guy was, like, essentially he was, like, hijacking some, like, app development company, and they developed a new app that instead of swiping left to right, you swipe up and down. And then he was like, you know, sitting in the middle of their like boardroom, you know, in like a room filled with corpses, except for the one guy he hadn't killed yet, and he's just sitting and swiping up and down on his phone because he's like, you know, he's like a middle-aged. Well, actually, he's like 150 because magic, but he's like a middle-aged, you know, widower who's like, I need to get myself out there again. And he's like, you know what? You're right. It is more intuitive going up and down. And then he kills the guy with magic by also making him go up and down, and, like crushing him to death.
I never really watched Legends of Tomorrow.
It was a really fun show and aggressively queer, which we love. You love to see it. Hang on, and I'm gonna make sure every people know we streaming, because I know Liz, Colleen, and Andy were possibly gonna tune in.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was kind of interested in Legends of Tomorrow, but also like the Arrowverse, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah, I will say so. It's interesting. I will say that I feel like Legends, as it goes on, gets less dependent on the rest of the Arrowverse and it does its own thing, which is definitely more comedic and gayer. I do like the Arrowverse shows, but they definitely all go in their different ways, and like Legends is,
No, I also like sometimes forget like how big the Arrowverse is because I'm like, oh yeah, Batwoman. They had Batwoman at one point.
Yes.
But to be fair, I also unfortunately also on occasion forget Batwoman just exists.
Yeah,
But,
and it's a shame because she's like one of DC's most prominent lesbian heroes.
yeah, I mean, I think she's a badass. Like I've been reading Wayne Family Adventures recently, and it's reminding me that Kate Kane exists.
Yes.
Oh yeah, her.
So I was introduced to her because one of my favorite comics is this big DC sort of crossover called 52, which was this like thing they did that's like, hey, what if for 1 year Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are all in retirement? So like the lesser known heroes of the DC universe kind of get to step up. And so it centers around a lot of lesser known and lesser known heroes. Let's see, like the main characters in it include Batwoman, also Renee Montoya, the cop who's also lesbian and becomes the Question eventually because the previous Question actually dies. Black Adam, like he's exploring his anti-hero side. Lobo, Animal Man, Starfire, like a bunch of people. It's a lot of fun. Tis. Also, I will say the war table music is oddly intense. I'm just realizing it's been playing for a bit for something that's just staring at a table.
But I love that extra step of gravitas.
Yes. Oh, we got a gift from the Imperial Palace. Oh, I think this is the Tevinter Emperor, because we warned... Oh, no. Or actually different, but yeah, okay. I almost disregarded your warning, and thank the Maker I did not. Just as you said, Tevinter brigands ambushed me on the road to the capital. I lost 2 good men in the capital, and I would have lost more had we not been on our guard. By the way, sentences like that are hard for me. It's like, had we not...
Yeah.
It's like...
The inverted...
Yes.
Yeah.
I am humbled to admit I'm in your debt. Should you need a favor in Cumberland, okay, so this is Navarra, actually. You have one. Sincerely, Count Octavian. Also, it's very sad that I can know what countries, cities in this game are by heart.
I think that just shows how passionate you are about this game.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like you probably have similar levels of trivia with Playful Kiss or Danganronpa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we do need to introduce Jordan to Danganronpa sometime, because that game is...
That game is crazy. It's a game about, like, okay, so an evil bear, an evil robot bear,
kidnaps people.
Kidnaps a bunch of high school students. Well, technically, okay, they go to a school. They're at Hope's Academy, and they're like the ultimate like X. Like they're a bunch.
It's like a school for super kids, like celebrities and child geniuses and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's like there's like the ultimate like gambler. There's like the ultimate.
There's the biker chick.
There's biker. There's like the ultimate like.
Wait, no, it's biker guy. I'm getting confused with Zombieland Soccer, but they have the biker chick.
Yes. Yeah. There's ultimate. The biker, and then there's like a bunch of like. There's ones where it's like, okay, I see that, and then there's like, there's an ultimate of that. Where it's like ultimate like student council president. I'm pretty sure that's not the actual title, but that's essentially what it is. Or like honors person, and they like realize they're like, oh, we're trapped in this school, and you're gonna make us all kill each other.
Yeah, and then also there's a whole mystery figuring out who, because there's like a Hunger Games thing, and but like with a mystery twist, and it's very very wild. People get murdered in extremely bizarre ways. It's the first game. Low key does have kind of a transphobic plot point, unfortunately, but you know.
Yeah, it's not the greatest at handling. My love of the Danganronpa games is more so for the game format.
Yeah, no, I like a lot of it. I feel like, well, I know you said there isn't any more transphobic stuff in the next two games, is there?
I don't really think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to start two, by the way. So let's say, yeah, because I kind of got to a point where I kind of caught up with Baldur's Gate 3 and like finished it. By the way, I will say Baldur's Gate 3, a very good game. I kept talking about it, but hadn't got very far with it because it's also a game that's just like hard to get through, honestly. And I finally got to Act 3, which is the end. I gotta say, unfortunately, Act 3 is kind of weak. That actually seems to be kind of a consensus. Like the first two acts are great, and then Act 3 is kind of weak. Apparently, it was rushed. But anyway, because of that, yeah, I'm moving on to new things, and I'm gonna do Danganronpa. Also, while we're here, so apparently there's like two nobles who are both spending a lot of money in a way that's really shady. We can either talk to one of them or spy on the other one. I say we spy. Yes.
Let's see what we have.
Oh, that's that. Oh, because there's another one next to it. That's the explanation point, which is the one. Oh yeah, Reese and Evangeline are the friends of Cole's that he asked us not to look for, but Evangeline and I owe you our freedom, and indeed our very lives. I am greatly saddened to hear what happened at the conclave. I had truly hoped for a peaceful end to this conflict, and the death of so many people is a tragedy. Our own investigation, because they're a renegade Templar and mage, our own investigation took us to renegade Templars using this strange new red form of lyrium. I am chagrined that they were powerful enough to subdue us, although your agents tell us that these red Templars serve as shock troops for the enemy, who had both mages and Templars dancing to his tune. Evangeline and I need to recover from our wounds, and our presence at Skyhole will only cause tension with the rebel mages you brought into the Inquisition. Once we are healed, we would be honored to serve. Yours, Reese, Senior Enchanter. There is a note presumably added by Cole. I asked you not to do this. I was upset until it saved them. This is good. So he's like, well, I asked you not to reach out to them, but he's like, well, I guess, but you saved their lives, so actually, probably, I'm glad now that you did that.
Good for you.
Yes.
I guess that worked out.
Yes.
Oh, good.
You know Cole, he's sweet, but he's also very blunt. Oh, we need really lead Leliana to investigate that that one, so we'll come back to that later. But someone's leaving mysterious graffiti. Oh, improving.
Josephine just comes back, just like, it was ugly.
Yes.
Like, thanks, Josephine. You okay?
Yeah. Like there is she does. I think she can try to solve it, but my recollection is Leliana is the one to do it because it's like you have to actually catch the people who are leaving weird, mysterious graffiti and that's more a Leliana thing, catching people doing secret shit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, morale. Improving morale. Well, you beat people, right? The beatings will continue until morale improves. Note to self: that's a quote. That's a quote from it comes from an old Egyptian tomb, but became a meme. I'm not actually advocating for corporal punishment. Okay. Our work continues in the approach. It's a difficult post, but the soldiers are determined to represent the Inquisition as best they can. Morale flags at times, but we manage. Oh yeah, remember when we captured a castle recently? Yeah, that's the one. That's the in the desert. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Ways to improve morale. Josephine is like, we should set up a small library for them. I like that. Leliana, well, we wouldn't be able to. We have to wait for this one, but. Leliana's like they would be more comfortable with shoes, with more proper shoes. Okay, pragmatic, but that does make a difference. Cullen?
She's like, what proper footwear?
I will say,
Shoes. So, hygiene.
I will say that there's another point in the Winter Palace when you talk to her, she's talking about all the shoes of the nobility, and when people have noticed that Leliana just likes to talk about shoes a lot. And on one hand, obviously, she's a fashionista, but I will say that there is also a theory in the fandom that she has a foot fetish.
I was going to say, there's one of two options.
Yes.
One, she has some tragic backstory where she grew up without shoes, some hardened street orphan, and, had to learn resiliency and doesn't want anyone else to go through that pain. And then part of it's everyone trade in your old shoes. I'll take care of them. Don't worry about it, guys.
Okay.
It's just hoarding old shoes somewhere.
I actually, okay, so for Reborn as a vending machine. There's a character in it.
Stop.
literally, he's like introduced. He's like, oh my god, this dude. Everyone's like, he's a bit of a freak because he's always interested in people's shoes, and he's like specifically their shoes. Like he's not he's weirdly fixated on people's shoes. And then later, it's revealed that like his friend was killed, and he had gifted her this pair of shoes that she valued like really intensely, and she would always like lace them up super tight, and a bunch of people killed her trying to get money on the shoes, and they amputated her in order to get the shoes because they're laced on so tight. And so he's like trying to. So part of the reason why he has like that shoe fixation is because he's trying to like figure out like who has these shoes so I can avenge my friend.
This sounds very Wizard of Oz, you know? Like she's like, I'm gonna remove those slippers if I have to cut your feet off.
Yes.
I will say, all of this just makes me more and more curious about that time I got reincarnated as a vending machine. Reborn in a machine. Yeah, I'm mixing up with that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah. But anyway, he eventually finds the people with the shoes.
Yes.
And then there's a person named Shui. She's like, a man, I kind of misjudged. They're like on the same team, essentially. They're on the same team of hunters. And they're like teammates, and she's kind of like, you know what? That's actually kind of a touching. Like, I get your shoe thing now. And he's like, okay, it started out as like an avenge my friend thing, but now I'm actually also interested. So it's like both.
So it is. So it's like it started out as a tragic backstory thing, but now I have a foot fetish.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that's probably Leliana too, because I will say my recollection is I think she was like born in like a family of like who was like the servant of a duchess, so she grew up in like the palace, but she did spend a lot of her, but she had to leave Orlais, and I think she did spend a lot of her time after that in poverty, so yeah, probably that backstory checks out, but also she probably has a foot fetish too.
A woman can have multitudes, you know?
Yes.
Try to box her in.
Yes. What's that saying? Get you a girl who can do both?
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, okay, so and also Cullen's solution, I actually like his too. Simple comforts can go a long way, and rations don't lift a soldier's spirits. We can see they have a good meal at the end of the day. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, so I will say these are all make sense. I think Josephine and Cullen are definitely my favorites.
Let's go with Cullen.
Okay, yeah, food.
Inquisitor.
Good food really is good for morale, it's true.
Okay, is it just me who thinks that Cullen's like little tarot card doesn't quite look like Cullen?
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a little, I feel like they made his features look a little too, like, hard.
Yeah. Every time I see his tarot
Like, it gives him, like, weirdly aggressive cheekbones. I don't know if this phrase, aggressive cheekbones, makes sense, but hopefully you know what I mean.
No, I got you.
Okay. Oh, we gotta look for water for the outpost. Okay, yeah, I mean, if along with morale, we need fresh water. Josephine can take care of this. I think we can let her take care of water.
Let us begin.
She can handle getting water for us.
Yeah, I mean, she literally lives by the sea, you know? She knows water. She understands water things.
Well, you know, that's the classic tale of Poseidon and Athena.
True. She's like the... Wait, so is she Poseidon in this analogy?
Yes.
Who's Athena?
Someone else that can get better water or olives.
Or olives. Okay, I mean, I feel like Leliana... Well, actually, wait. So, like, Josephine's from Antiva, which is, like, Italy, so they probably have really good olives there, too.
I was just saying, she could get drinking water because she lives by the sea. It's like those things aren't
Yes,
helpful.
true. True, very water everywhere.
That's all the point I was trying to make.
That's true. Okay, sorry, I didn't clock that, but I will say that's funny. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, let's spend some time alone.
I want
Hell
to
yeah.
spend some time.
Oh, I will say, so Win Baldur's Gate 3, I'm pleased to discover that, like, they have a similar option where with your love interest you can make out with them. At least one of them, I'm not sure about the other, but at least one of the ones I've romanced and hit, they actually do not give you the exact same shot of you two making out every single time.
Really?
Yes. So I'm like, wow, they fancy. And it's like, to be fair, like, this game, Baldur's Gate 3, I think, is like 9 years more recent than Inquisition. So clearly in 9 years, video game making out technology has improved.
That's caught up.
Oh yes, Blood Lotus for the bees. Bees, my god.
I in terms of games with like date, I still want to play Date Everything.
Oh, yes.
Like a group.
I would love that.
Yes.
I want to romance. I think it was the glasses.
Yes, I will say, if someone wants to buy a copy, that'd be super fun.
We could do. I love like absurd games like Date Everything. So
Yes, I do want to play Date Everything. I have friends who played it, and it sounds like they have a lot of fun with it. Also, though, about games that I'd want to show you guys at some point, someone reminded me that in the game Bioshock, which is another one of my favorite games, you can actually throw swarms of bees at people. So I feel like for that reason, we should add it to our list, you know?
I would love to at some point do a showing of Brando.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
It's a fun game, and they also have like little mini games in there that are like there's like one where you have to do like basically Frogger.
Ah.
Like little like other like pseudo games in there. Like it's a very like nice like narrative story as well. The art is fantastic.
All right, let's see if I have enough to upgrade anything. Yes. So, Jordan, you voted before increased panic, so we can make enemies panic more. And then once we have all the panic and duration upgrades, we get to add some wasps.
Significantly worse than King
Yes. Yes, it's like we're living in a rich New England town. You know why? Because there's a lot of wasps. You know, the term wasp, I've used it sometimes before, and, like, people don't always know what I mean, and, like, my mom says it's because it's more like an 80s term, but I feel like we might have prematurely, if true, we might have prematurely retired the term wasp, because I honestly feel like it's still a useful term.
I remember specifically learning what it was in school. Like,
yeah.
My history teacher was like, a wasp is a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
But yeah, like, cause like, I still feel like I know, like, a lot of basic bitch white girls and white guys who I feel like very much fit the wasp mold, so I feel like we shouldn't have retired that term yet, if it has been retired in any way.
It's that time of year again to watch the
Oh, yes.
The waspiest.
This is when I was starting to go.
The waspiest people I've ever seen on television.
Yes.
Very, very fall show.
It's such fall vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I think someone did the math one time, and like, episodes where it's visibly fall, like, is way less of a percentage than you think it is.
So
but
unfortunate. It's like such like.
But it's like, it quintessentially does feel fall.
It feels fall. Like there's
Even the non-fall episodes feel fall.
Yeah. No, I do love the Gilmore Girls, even when there's some episodes where I'm like, why are you so stupid, Rory?
I mean, that's the whole thing, is like,
What did I tell you?
learning over the course of the show that
Your
we
worship.
should actually dress just as
Can you
fucked
think of
up
any
as
other
the
characters
girls,
with the charges?
and isn't as
A few old
smart
Asian
as
nobles
she's
didn't like it.
praised to
They're
be
not
right
rebelling
now.
outright, but they brought in
Oh,
mercenary companies in prep. The charges have a good reputation.
Did you watch a
The
year
nobles
ago?
will lose the
I
men they
sure
met
did.
for causing trouble, and the Inquisition gets some fresh blood.
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not
Why
mages.
did you just
I was a
go
soldier.
to Logan's
Women
for
joined the ranks
emotional
under a different program.
Oh yeah, so
They
here's
found out
here's
I was
Krem
passing
talking
through
about their
Logan.
trans
Ran,
experience. Like, they
went
had to
over the
sign
border
up,
and
yeah.
ended up here.
So they were passing,
Life
and
like
yeah.
rush on everyone, but it'll do.
Yeah, so, like, they were passing as a man, you know, like, expressing their gender identity. But, like, apparently, Tevinter has, like, a thing where if you're a woman, or they consider you a woman, you know, you're supposed to, like, sign up for a different, you know, you can sign up for military service in only a particular way, so that got him in trouble. And then, yeah, let's see.
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was or wasn't in my pants, he made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
Fair.
It's against the law to pass as a man.
It's a crime to land an imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery.
Okay, so this is
10
actually
silvers
very
to
relevant
innocently tell
because
the
this
truth when I
argument
was
that,
sick in
like,
the head.
using your
Simply
proper
no
gender
good.
identity to,
That was
like,
when I
official
hit him.
paperwork is
I'd
committing
served for a
fraud
few
is an
years. I
argument
was
that
good
the
at
government
eating.
is trying to weaponize against trans people right now. And I will say, okay, so I don't like asking this. The question I'm hovering on currently on screen, I don't like to ask, but because it feels weird to ask, but I do want to hear Krem talking about it. So, pretending for a moment that this is a question that a sane, non-transphobic human being would ask. We'll hear
Why did you
Krem talk
decide
about
to
that.
live as a man?
Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
didn't decide anything. I've been like this
Thank
my whole
you.
life.
Yeah.
My parents wanted me to
Just
marry out.
ignore.
They tried to find me a nice
being,
merchant's son.
Low-key
Every day,
transphobic,
put on
yeah.
a dress.
Thanks,
Look
Krem.
into my father's shaving mirror.
Thanks, Krem, for calling it out, yeah.
Hate myself.
But I mean, I actually will say that probably is realistic. Like, this is a medieval society that's a little more accepting of trans people than we are, but obviously still not entirely. So I guess the point is that, like, they're kind of expecting that maybe your character does have some transphobic opinions that Krem needs to kind of, hit them on the head about.
It would be really funny if, like, the special trans roles were actually, like, ultra leadership roles or, like, in charge of stupid, like, really important things. She just wanted more of a grunt role, and they're like, no. If you're trans,
He wanted more of a grunt role.
You actually have to be in charge of stuff.
I mean, that would be funny, because it's like, there are some societies where people who are gender non-conforming or genderqueer are like they become like priests or whatever, because like they're seen as like spiritual because they transcend normal gender roles. Like the priesthood of Inanna in ancient Mesopotamia was all genderqueer people. Actually, fun fact, Inanna was literally the patron goddess of trans and non-binary people, because there's a myth that so she got trapped in the underworld for 3 days, and like basically because she tried to defeat the underworld god and got her ass handed to her, and so she was like trapped in the underworld, and like they basically decreed that like no man or woman could rescue her, and so a non-binary person rescued her from the underworld, and then she was like, well, from now on, I'm the protector of people who don't fit into normal gender categories.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
If you had the chance to use magic, would you change all the way? What? No.
I will say the idea of magical gender reaffirmation surgery is honestly interesting.
I don't know. Everyone has silly dreams. And Tevinter, dreams like that get you.
I mean,
Will help me make a good
magical,
life.
yeah.
Nice armor and a well-placed sock, and I'm happy.
How did your family react when you started?
My mother wanted to throw me out. She said if I didn't marry while I was doomed to be
We don't like his
I was
mom.
happy to take the money I set as a soldier, though. Not that it mattered in the end. My father. When I was little, he'd angle his mirror down so I could pretend to shave, just like him. He never said anything, but I think he knew.
Aw, that's cute.
What's Tevinter like?
We love gender-affirming
Someone
dad.
who isn't a slave or a mage.
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the imperial slaves drove him under.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of like real, like, Rome, where it's like, I feel like the mages, particularly or upper class mages, are like the patricians, and like sounds like Krem and their non-mage family but not slave family are like plebeians. They're like free citizens who aren't slaves, and then of course below them, slaves.
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project to prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? He had imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
What? Slave labor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like supposed to be like a commentary on like child sweatshops and stuff, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult to compete with someone who doesn't get paid.
That's Tevinter. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
Mm.
Well, that's an awkward note to have ended this conversation on.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, I feel bad ending it there. I will say, speaking of which, since we've established that the Inquisitor clearly is Serena Vanderwoodson, Who do we think the rest of the speaking of, because I was reminded of this talking about shows called G-Word Girls, but yeah. Let's talk to Iron Bull about, let's hear about more about Krem and the Chargers.
Riding high after we hit those Venatori. Glad they made it out alive, too.
Hell
What do
yeah.
you want to know?
I'd like to know more about Krem.
He's a good soldier, and a better second in command. The troops need someone to complain to when I'm being a hard ass. He's good for that.
Oh god, this is interesting because I don't like this phrasing, but the way that Krem reacted, I think that might be the point. Like, they're saying, like, the point is your character would ask it this way, but, because they're like a cis person, but, you know, who's maybe kind of ignorant, but yeah.
You don't have a problem with him being from Tevinter,
Nah,
but you hate the Vince.
sure, but he's not a Vint. He's just Krem. I can get
He's
worked
not
up
like other
for a nation
Tevinters.
just fine, but people,
One of the good ones.
it's too
Yeah.
much work to hate them one by
And
one.
LOT.
Yes. Okay. Again, I don't like the phrasing, but I do think Iron Bull's answer here is very wholesome. So I will.
You don't have any problems with him being a woman.
Not how that works.
Not a woman.
Thank you.
Look, I've got horns, you've got pointy ears, and those freaky big elf eyes. We're probably not the best people to go around deciding what's normal. Krem's a good man. I don't give a nug's ass that it's a little harder for him to piss standing up.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this. We had a conversation with Krem and Bull earlier, where Bull explained that in the Coon, there are kind of expectations about men and women's gender roles, but like you generally men serve in the military. But if you're like assigned female at birth and you turn out to be really good at fighting, like they'll just say you're a dude now. So Bull is actually like doesn't have finds it very easy to understand Krem, because in his society being trans is essentially just normal. Because a lot of people like identify as genders that are different from what they were assigned at birth.
How did you
Which I
start?
think is a cool detail.
It's easy to make a name for yourself as a merc when you're a head taller than most folks.
He's a
I
bit more
spent
than
a year or two working
Yeah.
with Fisher's
Yeah, I mean, he's tall even by the standards of Kunari.
Figured I could do better. The best folks in the Bleeders agreed with me, so we split off.
I imagine Fisher disagreed.
Fuck is Fisher?
The previous mercenary
I snapped
captain.
his sword in half, and we talked things out over drinks.
We talked things out. Well, that diffused more peacefully than I would expect. Actually, there's a part of me that thinks he's joking, but there's another part of me that thinks he isn't. Because Iron Bull, honestly, I feel like is exactly the kind of guy who would like hand someone their ass, but then be like, you know what, we can solve this over drinks.
Yeah.
You know, Bull's a nice guy.
What are the craziest jobs you've ever taken?
Besides this one, there's a lot of violence between the nobles here, but that's standard work. The fun stuff is when they party. They always want to impress each other, and that means getting something shiny. We hunted wyverns,
Holding on
fought
to
through
nothing,
caves
or
to
what's
find
it?
some old...
I think, he's just
Even when giant...
purchasing his hand like this.
I just noticed that. I'm like, why is he like?
Well, it's kind of like, actually, he's doing the same thing Celine is doing. Remember where she's always holding her hand like this?
Yeah.
Do you want me to kiss it?
Like, what? Why's your hand like that?
Maybe he's doing finger muscle exercises. Gotta keep those finger muscles strong.
What's giant baiting?
The
So
baby
this old guy,
hands.
Comte Van Chess, has some kind of a pageant planned. But he needs a giant, which is off in some damn cave. He's got some kind of rare charm to control the giant, but no way he's going into that cave himself. So we go in, kill some spiders, find the giant, and wake it up. It attacks us because, of course, it does. And we let the big bastard chase us outside where Van Chess is waiting.
That's the whole point of
That
the
was
giant
actually
baby.
your plan, to let a giant chase you.
Yeah, we had to stay out of reach, but close enough that it wouldn't give up. It was tricky. Good news is the giants are slow. Long as my guys ahead could clear out the spiders, we were fine. Bad news is the giant spiderwebs slow you down a bit more than you think.
But at least Comte Van Chess got his giant for the pageant.
Turned out that charm was a phony. Giant ate the poor guy alive. It's okay, though. We still got paid.
That's why you get the money up front.
Yeah.
Your group is diverse is a wild response for that.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say it just makes me think of, again, I think of Community and Dean Pelton just bringing up apropos of nothing. Well, this certainly is a diverse group.
Yeah.
You have people from plenty
We're
of
Dean
different
Pelton
backgrounds
now.
in your group.
Yes, well, when you're in Orlais and you look like me, you can't be picky about who you take in. A lot of them got turned away from other companies that didn't want a knife here, or a crazy dwarf.
We love Bull.
You get my back in a fight and carry your own weight, you're good with me.
Bull said trans rights, and Bull also said, racism is bad.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Bull's honestly too good to be in Gossip Girl.
Yeah, there's no Gossip Girl character that's him.
No.
We were set to lose how?
Good work out there, boss.
I will say that I feel like Sarah could be, what's the working class kid with the stick up his ass?
Whatever.
Yeah, because she also is a working class kid with a stick up her ass.
The downfall of Dan.
One for the
Oh yeah, I heard he becomes an asshole all the time, more so than he is currently. More so than he was in, he gets worse over time is what I mean. I hear people said.
They're all terrible people who just become worse from being around each other.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah.
In the books, he also becomes worse.
Remind me not to get you mad is kind of a funny response.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side. Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right? So long as there's a book for the throne.
Yeah, she's mad about the
A
Winter
pretty
Palace
one,
stuff.
sure. But how many lives are worth one empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I will say, I feel like Sarah is very relatable to me right now because she's just like, you know what? I'm a lesbian. The the Empress has a nice ass, but also fuck her. Like, that's kind of me conflicted about a lot of female celebrities. I'm like, you know what? They're very pretty, but also they're like, probably like a capitalist piece of shit.
Yeah. Natalie Portman's recent comments.
Oh no, what did she Did she say?
When talking about the ceasefire, she used the phrase prisoners and hostages.
Ah, yes.
Which a lot of people called question into.
Yeah.
Like, who do you define as a prisoner and who do you define as a hostage?
Yeah, because it's not like it's not like the Palestinians being held in Israel are being held subject to any due process of law either. Like, what is the difference exactly?
Yeah, that.
I will say that Obama.
I, like a lot of people read that and was like,
I will say, as much as there's a part of me that has real nostalgia for the Obama era, Obama also said something similar recently that really pissed me off, where he talked about the Palestinians and the Israelis, and he said the Palestinian people and the Israelis and the families of and the Israeli families have suffered so much. Everyone's like, okay, so wait, so Israelis have families, but Palestinians don't, I guess. I'm like, dude, think about what you're saying. Also, can I have some tea, perchance? What was it? You have whatever the like the cherry ones are all really any of the fruity ones you have are good. Oh, okay, that's fair. Well, whatever you have that works. I'm fruity. I like fruity tea. Yes. But yeah, I will say I'm definitely conflicted. I'm like, yeah, because like Natalie Portman, really pretty. I guess also kind of low-key is honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's Israeli.
I low-key don't have any fruity teas. I just have I have toasted s'mores one or peppermint, ham. I think it's vanilla.
Ooh, I'll try the toasted s'mores one. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not like that strong. Like you can smell the chocolatey.
Oh, I will say also though there is a really funny dialogue option that's about to happen. So I will.
Oh yeah, let me.
Yes. Okay, so she said we should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors. Yes.
I don't know. You want to stop a party? I think you go earwigs. I hate those things with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. We patched their spat, Briala and the Celine, but without their breakup, none of it would have happened like that.
Yeah, I think that their petty, weird love drama definitely contributed to making everything a mess.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse.
True.
Lots of people died before there was a hole in
There,
the
so
sky.
Sarah's
That's
saying the
saving.
problems are
If you
systemic.
get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
Like, the more you listen to Sarah, the more it becomes clear that, like, she clearly is, like, expressly meant to be, like, an anarchist. Like, I mean, like, politically, like, someone who, you know, yes, who hates aristocracy and hates wealth and basically thinks that we should all be, like, communists but without governments. You know, she's like, fuck big business, fuck the state, fuck authority, I'm gonna do my own thing. And we love the energy. Oh yeah, also, I did also see Keira Knightley saying some stuff about J.K. Rowling and trans issues that made me very sad. Which,
I can see that one.
yeah, and I'm like, Keira, no. She's just like, we should all be respectful, and I'm like, yeah, tell that to J.K. Rowling. Yeah. And, like, Keira Knightley is, you know, I've, like many lesbians, I've had a crush on her, so I was like, ugh. Oh, yeah, so remember that guy who, like, occasionally we run into in the bar, and he's like, oh, I want to help out, and then we sent him out to help, and he came back with a friend, like Liechtenstein energy?
Yeah.
And then he and his friend, we sent them out on a mission. Well, now we're back, and he's got a third friend. He's, like, building a whole adventuring party here.
As long as they're still good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like, it's I love this little mini quest because it's just like a tale told half in the war table and half just in random bar conversations, where this random kid who just happened to try to warn you guys about some bandits ends up becoming an important war hero.
You have the best people, and we're gonna help.
Hell yeah. Outfitting, now we have a new mission for those guys. Oh yeah, now let's go,
Them outfits.
yes.
Oh my god.
And let's go talk to Cole.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they
We didn't
said what they
understand
wanted.
it either.
You know what, as a neurodivergent person, I related to that. But yeah, this is a funny response.
What did you think of the masks?
What masks?
The masks. Everyone had them on their faces.
Well, we didn't.
Those weren't their faces.
Oh yeah, I think that's funny actually, because of course he's just like essentially a bunch of magic that's like magic spirit energy that's just kind of pushed itself into a human shape, right? So he's like, he doesn't get that a mask isn't actually part of your face. Oh yeah, now we can have a cute cutscene with Cole. We hang
How
out.
would you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Come on.
I want you to have fun, Cole.
You're a woman now.
Hell yeah.
Woman things. Have fun with us.
I never tried. I was like, oh my god, that makes me
you
sad.
honor us with your presence. May I bring a sample of fine cheeses for you and your guests?
Oh my god, charcuterie?
I don't eat.
Yes.
Just say
Well then,
yes.
just a bottle of a fine Ghislaine White
Some of us
stuff.
eat.
Please enjoy your
Inquisitor's on the
meal.
side like, I wanted the Jesus!
Well, I will
Cole
say,
doesn't speak for all of us.
well, you know what? Cole is like Weston, you know? Like, Weston just hates
They
charcuterie.
all see me.
Y'all remember when we discovered that, right?
Yeah.
That Weston just hates charcuterie? Alright, Weston, if you're watching, this is a call-out post.
Objectively wrong.
We all strongly disagree.
Also, ooh, what's this little, you got a little fish tea thingy?
Yeah, it's like a little, because it's a loose leaf.
Ah.
Loose this tea, so it's
Okay, yeah, that does taste s'moresy. I like that.
Yeah.
Weston, this is a call out. You're Cole right now.
We want the little cheeses.
He saw me. Oh yeah, because usually people just kind of use his powers. He's like invisible. What do y'all want to say? I kind of want to say I'm proud of you, you know? Because I feel like every time I play a character with Cole, like, even when I play mean characters in this game, like, more evil characters, they always just end up becoming Cole's mom friend. Like, I can't help it. It just happens.
I'm glad you've allowed them to.
I don't know if I did. I find people when their pain leaves them open. I ease the pain. I leave, they forget. That was enough for me. Now they remember, and I'm not sure...
Cole?
Cole laughed. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before.
I told you about Reese, the mage who could see me, my friend.
We just rescued.
My only friend for a long time. Evangeline showed me that Templars could be kind, but even she...
I think probably being sensitive is the way to go here. Y'all think? Yeah, y'all, you agree? Yeah, let's be sensitive.
Cole, if this is troubling, we don't have to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Gentle. You watch me walk into darkness over and over, and you always...
Yeah, you're my son, Cole.
Thank you. But this isn't about them. It's about... When I found out I wasn't human, when I grew, I lost Reese. I lost my only friend. That's why I was scared about letting all these people see me. That's why I laughed.
So he's scared about people seeing him and he laughed. Okay, yeah, I sometimes use laughter or humor as a defense mechanism. I get that. So I feel like that's kind of the implication.
You're covering the fear with laughter.
No.
Oh, okay. No, that isn't that. Oh, I forgot this
Changing
episode.
means losing your friends. But now I know that doesn't have to be true.
Aww.
I have enough self to know that what I felt was foolish. Isn't it wonderful?
Okay, I know that Cole is like a weird spirit being pretending to be a person, but I will say that that's actually very relatable to me because I feel like as I've gotten more stable over time and had the pleasure of like developing more stable, honest relationship with other people, I felt a lot more like, okay, yeah, like I've kind of become aware that like I've been very insecure about being abandoned and like worrying that as things change and I change and other people change that people will leave, but you know, I've started to, I think, become more used to the fact that, like, I have friends like you guys who I know will actually stick around even as things change.
Yeah.
And so I can relate to that a lot, honestly. So, yeah, I think that's wonderful. If you guys are, yeah.
I'm like, let's
It's
this
another
like
good step,
that.
Cole.
I might like being human. What do you think I'll learn next?
The Inquisitor's like, oh god, we're gonna have the birds and the bees talk with him eventually, aren't we?
I think we got some time with Cole.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna come up naturally.
Yeah.
And Cole is so off-putting, like, someone might try to take advantage of him, and, like, just Cole being Cole, it wouldn't work out.
Yeah, I feel like, actually, there is a funny dialogue in here that we might encounter accidentally, where, like, Iron Bull trying to, get Cole, like, to appreciate the subtleties of, you know, girls, and so he hires a prostitute for Cole, but Cole just ends up giving her therapy and helping her process her grief over her
Yeah,
mom,
that's what I'm
and then
saying.
she doesn't have sex, and then they don't actually have sex. Yeah, so exactly that.
It's very
Yeah,
easy.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely tend to headcanon Cole as Ace. Yeah, yeah. Actually, what's interesting? Something I'll go ahead and spoil is that, like, apart on the note of people being Ace, some of the romances in this game, they of course have actual sex scenes or implied ones, like we saw that with Iron Bull. But like Josephine, they don't, and I think one of the writers, if I remember correctly, did actually say that they did that partly so that they could leave it up to interpretation that, like, you could kind of headcanon, like, whether, you know, she might be Ace herself, like, they're kind of leaving it ambiguous there, which I think is kind of a nice touch.
Inquisitor.
You know, what was I... Oh yeah, we're going to find Blackwall. After I whee! The fact that there's no fall damage at the base just leads to very funny things sometimes.
No, I love
He's doing so much.
exploring fun
I
things.
should write to join him.
Oh hell yeah.
You said he is hidden. Fairbanks will find me. So with his enemies, you'd fare worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also while we're here today, I can show you a very strange small mini quest in this game, since we have enough money that we can go for it. Oh.
I was texting platform.
Hell yeah. He's just staring at a fire dramatically.
What an interesting angle.
I love his little wood-carved griffin over there.
Someone like peeping from the ceiling.
No, I'm like, why are we like up
Want
in
a
the
drink?
rafters?
Yes.
Have a handkerchief.
Yeah, the camera angle is weird. Okay, I feel like they must be here late at night because the tavern is suddenly a lot more
When I
empty
was
than
a
it
boy,
usually is.
There were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day they found a dog, a wretched little thing. It came to them for food. They caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up. Do you know what I did?
You saved it?
You stopped them. Cut the dog down.
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting, and I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
What do you guys want to say?
He was a kid.
Yeah.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
What do y'all think? I think your eyes aren't shut. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jordan? Yeah.
When we first met, you were saving peasants from demons and outlaws. You're not a man who shuts his eyes. A little insane, maybe.
Of course, you'd make light of it.
Oh, that's... Oh, I forgot about... No, I'm just trying to make a joke out of this.
The
No.
rest of us can only dream
Okay.
of matching what you've done. Don't you
Did
see?
he disapprove earlier? I thought
It's
I
not
saw.
just about what
I
happened back
read
then.
it too fast.
I'm not sure. I didn't catch it
There's
myself.
always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to
We were
stay
trying to
away.
help Blackwall.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, occasionally this game, the dialogue, something comes across differently than I expected to.
That was not our intent.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I will say Baldur's Gate 3 has an actual has some that kind of worse examples of this, because there's one point where I'm playing the game and there's a way you can play the game as like a character called the Dark Urge, who's like has these weird murderous impulses, and there's a point where one of the options is you can like fantasize about like doing this bad thing where you like basically cut off someone's arm, and like I'm trying to role play, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not actually gonna do that, but like imagining the character would fantasize about that. But then it turns out that doing that, the character actually loses control, slips into the fantasy, and actually slices off the guy's arm. And I was like, wait, no, I didn't expect that to happen.
It's like the Pro ZD video of like the one where it's like when the dialogue option is way too aggressive.
Yes.
And he's like, it's like a hi, and then it's like the character's like, hi, fuck you.
Yeah. So I went and reloaded the save. I will say though, that wasn't just an edgy cutscene. That's gonna come back very shortly. I remember the line. There's always a fucking mongrel who doesn't know how to stay away. As in, there's a dog that doesn't know how to stay away from the people who are going to hurt it. And there's a person who will stand by and watch and do nothing as the dog gets hurt. So there's a reason he's thinking about that. We're about to find out shortly. Let's see. But first, we actually have delayed Varric's quest for quite a while, so I think we have something...
I can show you that, I guess.
Yes. Because you guys, we need to find out what exactly is going on with that lady named Bianca, right? We gotta... Did the crossbow become a human being? Is she like Cole and she's a real person now? She's like Pinocchio.
What a twist. You loved her enough. She became real.
Oh, so she's like the Velveteen Rabbit, yeah.
Master for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock...
Oh yeah, this is the guy who replaced the old quartermaster.
Where it's like a Calvin Hobbes situation where like when Varric's alone with Bianca, she's like talking to him and like an actual person.
But then somehow we can see her now.
Like everyone just sees a crossbow.
Yes. Oh my god, yes, it is like Calvin and Hobbes. Oh yeah, I will...
Like, what are you guys talking about? My love, Bianca.
Yes.
And Bianca's making comments. I don't know why they keep ignoring you, Bianca. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like Bianca wants like in a restaurant. It's like Bianca wants a grilled cheese.
Like, okay. So you want a grilled cheese?
Yes, exactly. I will say, so something about, remember how when we were evacuating everyone from Haven, we had to rescue a bunch of people from being killed in like fire or stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, so because all of those characters, it's possible for them to die, they kind of hedge their bets. So like when you come back to Skyhold, if you save them, they're alive and you'll see them wandering around, but their jobs have been replaced by someone else because I guess they figured that it'd be too complicated to actually have like it change who's actually managing these things. So that's why we have like a new quartermaster and various other things.
Okay, that explains where is Quartermaster Throne?
Yes. Well, actually, we saw her briefly over when we were walking toward Blackwall. She was just kind of wandering around. Oh, yes. Yeah, actually, we'll ask about that.
Quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views.
Yeah, this is the thing. So, like, she had ties with, we talked to her about briefly, to an important character in Dragon Age Origins who is like a politician and general who... Okay, it's complicated. He's kind of like Denethor in that he's like a corrupt ruler who you have to overthrow to restore the rightful king, Alistair, who's basically Aragorn. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. You haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
I got it.
Okay, yeah. But the thing is, he actually gets a redemption arc where he can become like a hero depending on the choices you made. And so I don't think we have it set that way in this playthrough because I wanted to keep it simple. But in other playthroughs, like you can actually ask her about him. And not only that, but actually... So he shows up instead of Stroud. Remember the warden with the big mustache who basically has no personality? He shows up instead. And you can ask Thren about it, and she says that she actually met him when he came to Skyhold, and you still remember her name, which I think is sweet. Yeah, so there's a lot of little kind of interesting things going on in the background. But, yeah. So that's what he means about her having views. Like, it's like she has controversial political opinions, namely her connections to him. Yeah.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral.
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
He's scared of the war table. Actually, you know what? I don't think he's scared of the war table. I think he's just like, I have sensitive ears, and that loud music that starts playing whenever you go to the war table would hurt my ears.
You guys just didn't blast music when you went in there.
What makes you ideal for this position?
Yes.
It's an important one.
My family has ties to several freehold militias, as well as cousins acting as officers in Ferelden and Orlais.
And your qualifications?
My family holds treaties with 3 new money Tevinter houses, and a rare Orzuma contract with a Paragon namesake.
And your qualifications?
To be honest, your worship, that was my question.
He's like, I don't know why I got hired for this
tried
either.
by others, designed to cast the widest and most appealing resource net. But I will rise to the occasion. Skyhold will want for nothing. I swear it.
I will say, on the one hand, he sounds like a spoiled trust fund baby, but on the other hand, I do kind of feel bad for him, because it just kind of seems like he's just got dragged into something well over his head, and he seems aware of it.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
Like, I actually have no qualifications for this.
You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
Okay, I don't like the way he said that, but, you know. I guess at least he's bringing enthusiasm? Question mark? Oh, I will say there is a funny little codex entry I just remembered up here. Ahem. Oh, okay. So, okay, actually, I think this is not the one I was thinking of, but it's interesting. Father, no, I will not come home. Actually, Jordan, you want to read this one?
Father, no, I will not come home. I know what happened to Haven. I was there, and I'm not afraid of death. If none of us are brave enough to stand, then all of us will fall. I am your son. If you trust nothing else, trust me. The Inquisition is our only hope. I would also like to request that you stop using such language to refer to the Inquisitor. It is not what you think. She is not trying to replace the Divine, or the Chantry, or become a god. I know it's hard for you to see an elf in a position of such power, but maybe don't be such a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for you to think about why you feel the way you do about that. Don't you remember the stories of Andraste and the elves who helped her? If the Inquisitor is really Andraste's herald, maybe it's Andraste sending us a message, telling us to let go of our foolish hatreds. Maybe read the Bible and you wouldn't sound like such a dumbass.
Yeah.
I just hope you'll be able to see that this is what I want and what I feel is my duty. I think Mother would be proud, and I know she would want you to be proud of me too, Papa. Your son and dedicated Inquisition soldier, Eustace.
So I will say, yeah, from context, I think he's saying don't call the Inquisitor a knife ear or various other elven slurs. I will say, I do appreciate this guy's energy, you know, he's calling out his dad for being a racist. Like, you know, that takes guts. Good on you, Eustace. Oh yeah, this is it. Greetings, Singquisition. I hope you're excited for our next meeting. I certainly am. In these dark times, fellowship and song will keep us from the depths of despair, so let us lift our voices and our spirits. Here are the pieces we'll be learning in the upcoming weeks. Lyrics and musical notation are available in the archives, so come prepared. Yeah, so they're essentially forming like a little community choir group. The Storm Coast Claim, Circle of Flame, The Girl in Red Crossings, The Ballad of Nuggins. Scout Harding fought hard for this one, so she'll conduct. Scout Harding's in this group. She's a choir kid. You know what? Actually, that explains a lot about Scout Harding, honestly. Because she's just aggressively chipper. We love Scout Harding. I'm Twinkling Lucia of the Heavens, whether you took my gold or the Jolly Tavern. Arl Jason? I don't know how you pronounce that. Jason's Ride? I shall prevail. Although there are many votes for Andraste's Mabari, I have decided to leave it off the list, as attempts to perform it tend to leave most choir members a sobbing mess. Oh yeah, I remember another codex entry about that. There's some like popular song about Andraste having a pet dog, and it's apparently very sad. Like, it makes everyone go, you know. Oh yes. Singquisitor Faye. I understand that some of you object to being called the Singquisition. If you can't come up with a better name, it is not your place to criticize. And no, the Harry Heralds is not a better name.
I just picture Faye, Inquisitor Faye, just being like there's like a meeting of the war at the war table, and it's like that scene in The Office where like Andy like comes in with the people of like Sweeney Todd just like singing around.
Yes.
And everyone's just like wait.
Yes. Honestly, yes. I think that's it. I will say I actually do agree with Singquisitor Fae, that like the Inquisition is kind of a dorky name, but I don't like Airy Heralds. Like that's worse.
That's way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah, like that's way worse. I feel like I could probably come up with a better pun name though. Inquisition. Actually no, I think Inquisition kind of is pretty good. Like the more I say, so I feel like it's something that's better said out loud than read. Like when I read Inquisition, it sounds goofy, but when I say it out loud, it honestly sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with Inquisitor Fae. You know, you guys.
I feel like it should be one word.
Yes, you don't need the hyphen. Yeah.
Not hyphenated.
Yeah, and also leave out the G. So SINQU. Yeah, you don't need the G. Yeah, I think everyone will understand that it's like Singquisitor. Hello, Cassandra. Also, I just realized recently that she's a character named Cassandra, who's a seeker of truth.
If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree?
Oh yeah, because we're talking about Leliana or Cassandra possibly becoming
I've
the
had
divine.
enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
I love Cassandra, but definitely Leliana's the more radical left one, so she's my pick. But yeah, she's like, we should just completely abolish the circles and have everyone be equal, and I'm like, girl, I'm like, that slaps. Having fun.
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was hilarious.
I think they. Well, okay. I think this might be a blacksmith shop, so I think they might be
Leliana and
smelting.
I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amara III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Why am I not a candidate is a crazy ass from us.
Yeah, because we're not because we're not Andrastian, and we're not, and also this. Well, actually, I feel like that we all know that the biggest reason is because we're not human and they're racist.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that my Inquisitor would be more on Leliana's side, so she probably wouldn't say this. Refuse if you don't want it probably is, you know.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
She's like, I don't know about that.
To be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars. This cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you of all people say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
Yeah, I don't think my character would be very keen on the Chantry. I mean, her species has been persecuted by them a lot.
The Chantry has...
Yeah, okay, that made her unhappy, but hey, you know. But at least she understands somewhat. She's like, you know.
Throughout Thedas would agree with you. Did you know Varric is Andrastian?
Yeah, I remember him saying he does kind of believe you,
but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
So I think that is actually an interesting point that, you know, like, I'm not really religious, but I think it's interesting hearing some people who are, like, more progressive and, you know, well-intentioned in religious circles talking about the kind of irony that there are some people who do aspire to the same ideals of a religion. You know, they want peace and love and all those things, but don't want to set foot in the church, and how that says about the failures of the church to actually be a place of comfort and hope and support for people like in theory it should be. And I think it's always an interesting point to highlight. All right, well, because we just love flirting with everyone, and if it's not going to go anywhere, because Cassandra is inexplicably straight. I don't get it. Like, look at her, but
She also greatly
Your determination is admirable.
Yes.
I do nothing that is not worth doing with
Oh, she
all
like
my
that
heart.
at least.
It's your most attractive trait.
Oh, look at the little smile.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, I think the way I always get the vibe with Cassandra is you can actually, I do remember, you get a dialogue with her and Iron Bull where he's flirting with her constantly, and she's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop flirting with you then. Because, Bull understands consent. But she's like, no, you don't need to stop. I like it. Just understand it won't go anywhere. I think that's her whole vibe.
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
I think that there's obviously, because I think this is interesting to think about. I think there's always the argument that, like, trying to do too much change at once can create chaos, and, sometimes gradual methods are more, more reliable. But I think, for me, the impression I get is that when you have a dynamic that's as oppressive as this, I don't think the people in charge are ever going to voluntarily change, just, like, even if you try to be nice and gradual about it, like, like, people who have way too much power genuinely don't give it up of their own accord. So I think that they kind of do need to be forced, and Liliana being more willing to do that, I think, is
What would you change about
more
the
my
country?
speed.
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
Yeah, so again, I already mentioned the kind of reformist issue of, I don't necessarily think this is a situation that warrants gradual change. I guess the other thing for me is talking about the Templars being in a supporting role and not, like, being jailers of mages. That's not the worst idea, but I feel like I want to hear more about what you think that means in practice. Like, what changes specifically? Do the Templars have less power? Like, are they literally not allowed to police mages anymore just to kind of, like, provide support for them if they need it? Like, are you going to actually strip the Templars of some of their power? If so, how are you going to get them to accept that? Because remember, the Templars also rebelled because they didn't like being kept on a leash. Yeah. So I'm like... And again, like, I mean this is a compliment to the game, by the way. I think the way that it frames these issues is really interesting. And I feel like you can see parallels to real-life political issues. Like, again, I just think of, like, the Templars. I think of real conversations we have about police brutality. It's, like, it's really interesting, I think. Okay, I feel like this is going to annoy her again, but do you want to... I don't know. I'm like... Yeah.
Perhaps the
Okay, at least it wasn't greatly disapproved this time.
You mean get rid of it entirely? I disagree. Without the Chantry, the faithful would be lost. The Chantry must simply be more responsible in how it leads. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name.
I will say, even when she does disagree with you, she's generally respectful about it, which I appreciate. Cassandra, one thing I like about Cassandra as a character is that she does have strong opinions about things, but she's also very willing to listen to people who disagree.
Yeah, no, I get why Chris likes her.
Yeah, and, like, she has a lot of humility, I think, like, she's always like, am I doing the right thing? She's very willing to, like, listen to doubt, and I think that's healthy, honestly. And I feel like for someone who's supposed to be a seeker of truth, being willing to doubt constantly is a good thing. And yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I think, she's, I will say I've done her romance too. It is fun. Because, from her reading her reading material that she's big for like big epic swooning romance, and yeah, that does play into her
Into the bodice reverse.
hell yeah.
I've been looking all over for you. I've just received the most terrible news. What is it? I'm engaged.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions here.
What do you want to say? Start from the beginning, or
Yeah, let's just roll
I
back.
sense this is complicated. Tell me more.
Why?
For the past year, my mother and father have searched Antiva for a match for me. They had no idea you and I had grown so close. Today, I received a letter declaring they've betrothed me to Lord Adorno Cielo Tranto of Antiva. I must deal with this. But until then, we cannot be seen in a compromising situation. I'm so sorry.
aw,
Are you saying we should act like nothing's happened between us? No, not at all. But it is not right that we carry on while I am betrothed. I must break off the match first.
all right. What do y'all want to say?
It wasn't her fault.
Yeah, it's not her fault. I agree. What do you think, Jordan?
We get it.
Let me know what I can do, Josephine. No. Thank you so much, but no. Until I know more, I cannot risk her reputation. Why did this have to happen to us now, of all times? I must see to this. And to my other duties. If I can keep my mind on them today at all.
That other woman in the room is like,
Yeah.
I must back to normal.
So yeah, now we have more relationship drama. Oh yeah, I think we actually can talk with her a little about what to do.
Inquisitor, I'm afraid untangling my engagement to Lord Otranto will take some time.
Oh, you didn't do it in the 2 minutes then?
Yes, Auntie. The only acceptable thing to do would be to challenge him to a duel for my favor.
Do we want to talk about blackmail?
Get gossip.
Every family has scandals. I'll find something to persuade Otranto to break off the match.
Get Liliana on his
Please, Inquisitor,
case.
no. If Otranto found out, he'd challenge you to a duel. The traditional form of dueling among Antiva nobles isn't usually fatal, but there's always a chance of harm. I hardly wish to see you skewered on a sword point for the sake of my honor.
You know, I will say that it would be funny. Imagine if, like, this, if like, we went to fight a duel for Josephine's affection, and then that guy killed us, and then he just becomes known as, like, the new Aaron Burr. You know, the guy who's famous for killing, like, a really famous political figure, you know, the leader of the Inquisition in a duel, and, like, that's the only thing people know him for.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be very Hamilton. It's like, I'm the guy who, I'm going to be known through history as the guy who shot Alexander Hamilton. I'm going to be known through history as the guy who stabbed Inquisitor Llewellyn while she was in the middle of saving the continent from a darkspawn magister who aspires to be a god. It was not my best moment. Okay, but yes, now to the hinterlands where Varric's quest is, so we can find out what the fuck's going on. Actually, first, you'll note that Blackwall is not available for this mission. Let's go find out why. I was about to go to Varric, but then I noticed that he's not. That I literally can't select Blackwall to do this one, so we're gonna go find out why.
Indisposed?
Yes, why is Sir Blackwall indisposed?
Can you just get out of the way? Goodbye, dude.
Oh, it's a letter. Message from Blackwall. Inquisitor, you've been a friend and an inspiration. You've given me the wisdom to know right from wrong, and more importantly, the courage to uphold the former. It's been my honor to serve you. Well, that's ominous.
Why are you writing us in
It's like, where are you going, boo? Oh, also, just I will say, giant nug makes me happy. He's a thick boy.
You could ride nugs into battle. I'm just saying.
Okay, just Stable Boy's letters, that's not important. I'm looking for something that I think there's like a, if I remember correctly, there's a little kind of clue about where he went. That's somewhere oot in the boot. Oh, here it is, yes.
The spy master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Liliana knows
Go on.
everything.
Liliana knows where he is.
You
doesn't
said
she? She knows everything.
you said that, and then they
She
said
doesn't know
that. I think that's funny.
Yet. Sister Leliana had us search the warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937, was captured in Lides. Actually, I'll wait till Jordan's back to read this. This is a little kind of important cluey thingamajig. Hello. Okay, so yeah, Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers, this is a news report, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937 was captured in Lides. Like others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating, and that he didn't, and he was just following the orders, of his captain. His captain, Tom Rainier, is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Valrayo. Okay, so I want to point out there's a gallows in the center of Valrayo, so, you know, he's probably going to be hanged. Remember, Blackwall was talking about a dog who was being hanged on a rope who didn't have the good sense to stay away. So think about that parallel there. Okay. So, yeah. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go. So they said there's an execution of Valrayo. Let's figure out what the fuck's going on with that. We'll take Sarah, because like I said, she and Blackwall definitely become pretty close. And Bull. And... yeah, let's take Cole. Sarah, Cole, and Bull is a very squishy party, but thankfully we're in the city, so it doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, the gallows. There's a lot of people gathered for a public execution.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
So we're just waiting for Blackwall to turn up, right?
Poor bastard. So, where's food?
Thanks, Sarah.
Orlesians always stock these things.
Proceed. Like, just another hanging.
Stop!
In the name of love.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Remember they said he was following the orders of a man named Tom Rainier.
Blackwall!
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall.
What?
Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years.
What?
I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding.
Resist.
I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom
This is
Rainier.
what I know. What?
So I want to point out, Blackwall is a guy who committed a crime and then accidentally gets someone and then goes on the run under a false identity and then accidentally gets someone else in trouble. And then in order to get that person out of trouble, he puts himself in a position where he has to be found out and be arrested by the police. And he's in medieval, early modern France. Are you seeing where this is going?
Yeah. No.
I'm saying he's Jean Valjean.
No.
Like, I really do think that was a direct inspiration. Like, they based his character arc off Les Miserables. Like, that part where you can kind of, where he's, like, coming on the gallows, I can practically hear him going, like, it's me, 24601. You know. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. We should try to get them to do that someday at Sterling or Reston.
I saw the one clip of like Dropout's crowd control with like that one dude who was like, I want to do a 2-person production of Les Mis. Or just him and his friends changing hats. And I'm like, I would actually pay money to see you and your friend frantically run around changing hats.
I would watch that, yes. Yeah, so there's a prison. Is one of these guards gonna be like, and I'm Javert?
Awkward silence.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know how to start a conversation with him.
I traded his death.
Whatever the fuck that was?
He
Yeah.
wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this is it's actually established in Dragon Age that, like, wardens are often recruited from prisoners who would otherwise be executed, because, it's like, hey, instead of dying, you can essentially become Darkspawnified, and, you can join the wardens and spend the rest of your life fighting Darkspawn. It's, like, not a life that a lot of people would choose voluntarily. So the problem isn't that Blackwall is a convicted criminal who probably would have been hanged, because, like, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for him being a warden. But in essence, the problem is that he actually met a warden named Warden Blackwall who was going to initiate him into the order, but then died before he could finish. So he was essentially left unable to actually, like, finish the process of becoming a warden, and he essentially had to assume a fake identity to become one. I'd say probably that would be my question here. You really killed those people?
Was the bailiff telling the truth? Did you really do those things?
Yes, I did. It's all true. It's time we all took a good look at who I really am. Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran.
I ran so far away.
Paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
I think he's more than that. I think we've seen that he's become a much nobler man. Oh, actually, a little quick trivia. Remember when we did find at the beginning he was protecting presents from bandits?
Yeah.
One of them, if you go into the house that the bandits were essentially hiding out in, one of them left a note saying that the best thing he could do at this that something previously had happened to him had ruined his life and pushed him into a life of crime, and he said the best thing I can do is use what Rainier taught me. So one of the bandits there was one of those soldiers who went on the run. Yes. And so Blackwall was essentially trying to, and so it's not totally clear if Blackwall knew it, but he very likely might have, and he might have been going to protect those peasants from a bandit who he knew about, who was going to hurt them because he knew the guy. Yeah. I think he's more than that.
I know you're more than what you say. Have some faith in yourself.
By the way, can I just say there are certain things in this game that have just forced me to bite my tongue so hard because you guys keep saying things and I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm resisting the urge to say something that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
This was one of the hardest ones. Like there are quite a few times where it's like, remember when Blackwall was being really evasive about Warden stuff? Well, now you know why.
Yeah, we ain't reading all that.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of.
So yeah, he was essentially hired by Gaspard, I think.
He led a group of fiercely
one of
loyal men on this mission,
Gaspard's supporters.
Told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
Yeah, so actually, when we first meet Leliana, we first talk to Leliana after we recruit him. So Leliana is the one who tells you to go find the wardens, right? So she tells you to find Warden Blackwall. When you get to him, she says, Blackwall is not what I expected. And so, yeah, I think the implication is she's known since almost immediately from the beginning about this.
It didn't say shit.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to wardens. What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
Yeah, so Leliana obviously has a strong connection to the Wardens in the first game. In fact, depending on what you did in Origins, her boyfriend might be a Warden. So I think the implication is that she knows that Blackwall has been acting as a Warden, fighting Darkspawn, doing Warden things for many years, and like she respects him and doesn't want the truth to come out because she's just like instinctively protective of Wardens. Which, you know, I still kind of wish she told us, but I can understand the reasoning. You know, there's, you know. Yeah.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
So, I don't know if I told you too much about the events of Cullen's life in the previous games, but like he worked for a crazy Templar named Meredith in Dragon Age 2, right? And his experiences serving under her was part of what led him to realize the Templar Order was bad and he needed to leave. I feel like this is him seeing a little of Blackwall in Meredith, because remember, for a while he was like, this is my superior officer, I gotta follow her orders. So like, he's very wary of the just following orders excuse, or the of people who order their own men to do shady things.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why he's so mad about this. But he also seems a little impressed, I think.
Yeah.
You guys good with that one?
Yeah.
I think it's the most interesting response.
Yeah.
Some part of you is impressed by what he did, isn't it?
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
We're getting him out, right?
Yeah.
He's our boy. Our boy who has a dark past, but, he's clearly a very different person now who saved a lot of lives, so...
Yeah.
Have Renee released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
I mean, we almost got to. We accidentally got together with him that one time.
Yeah, plus he's our best fighter,
Yeah.
Like, you've seen how impossible to kill he is. So yeah, I do think that it's interesting how you can see that they're taking a lot of inspiration not just from history, but also from, literature. Like, you can tell these guys are very well read, because, Vivienne is obviously a little bit Madame de Pompadour, the real-life mistress of Louis XVI, but also Maleficent, and, Blackwall is Jean Valjean.
You forget, sire. Before I became a servant at the palace, I was with one.
Good day.
And Sarah is Robin Hood, who is, I would say, probably deserves to also be counted as a literary character, because I don't think we have any evidence of a real-life Robin Hood existing, apart from, the folktales. Oh yeah, are you guys ready? Because we're about to have to judge Blackwall in our cool dragon throne.
Oh no. It's not gonna be awesome at all.
Yeah, I don't know, judging someone in your cool dragon throne feels less cool when they're one of your friends, I think first, we gotta do a war table thing to get him here. We also have to do a war table thing to take care of that whole arranging a duel thing.
I still think we could take whatever it is. Josephine's concern for us. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I will say the one thing is there's a sword duel, and we're a tiny mage elf trying to be... Actually, literally, I won't spoil anything else, but the cutscene when we get there, it actually does look very funny seeing this tiny elf mage holding a giant sword rapier that's clearly meant for a human. But you know what my headcanon is, though? I think Cassandra is the one who taught us how to duel, because again, she loves big romantic gestures. So as soon as she heard we were talking about dueling Josephine's suitor for her affection, she was like, okay, come on, you, me, we're going sword training, you're going to duel for your love, it's going to be awesome.
I feel like Cassandra would really love Harlequin novels.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like honestly the implication is that Sword and Shields is just a Harlequin novel. Varric is writing a Harlequin novel.
Harlequin novels are just another brand of crazy.
Oh yeah. Commander. Although, you know what's actually the funniest interpretation, I think? Imagine that Swords and Shields is actually just some genuinely unhinged, playful kiss type of romance. Because Varric is crazy enough, I love him, but Varric is crazy enough to write a story like that. Yes. I love Varric, but let's be real here, he is crazy enough to write a story like that. Okay, everyone's grateful for the new cook. Yay, a good meal after a long day lifts the spirits. Talk around the dinner table has become more lively. Supplies in the approach are limited, but I swear that man can cook anything from nothing. One night he managed to produce fish and egg pie. I haven't had one of those since Starkhaven. Sometimes the smallest things remind you what you're fighting to protect. Knight Captain Ryland. Yeah, it's interesting to me how in Europe, and especially England, they have all these meat pies and we just don't have those here.
More savory pies.
Yes. The only savory pie we have here is pizza, really.
I mean, yeah, calzone.
True. Okay. Pizza and calzones. I mean, calzones to me are
yeah, some of the other, my favorites, Jamaican spicy beef patties.
Ooh.
Like,
Those are
slap so
good.
fucking hard.
They're so good.
Yeah, they were selling like these like English like pepperoni pies at the Ren Fair when Chris and I went. It was incredible.
I would love to go to a Ren Fair.
Yes, we should absolutely go to one together. And again, we should.
Plan it early next year.
Yeah.
I
I will say we were talking about doing Inquisition cosplay. The thing is, a lot of people do like cosplay as their favorite fantasy characters at Ren Fairs, so we should go to the Ren Fair as the Inquisition. A freshwater source has been located in the western approach. However, a territorial wyvern also claims the area, and the pair of scouts who discovered it were no match for the beast on their own. I'm afraid one of the men was injured in the attack. The wyvern will need to be removed from the area if they want to have safe access to water. Dang, okay.
That wyvern's like, no water for you.
Yes. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I just realized something really funny. So, Leliana's spy guy is named Fisher. Iron Bull also said the name of the mercenary captain whose team he split off from is Fisher. What if it's the same guy? That would be very funny.
They're like, they talk about this, they both talk about someone named Fisher. It's like, wait, is your Fisher also? Wait a minute.
Yes. Is he Fisher of Fisher's Bleeders? Orders received. Will update. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because we were spying on that guy with lots of money. Right. Yes, that's how I sum that up. Okay, so first of all, let's take care of the things with Josephine and Blackwall. Okay, yeah. Rainer's release. We could get him out of prison. Or, let's see, Tom Rainier's fate. We can have him, okay, so we can have him sent the conventional way, or we can have Leliana smuggle him out. Okay. Leliana, okay, there's actually another, okay, so Leliana has two shady ways of solving this problem. The other shady way is, there's a traitor to our cause, a man similar in build to appearance to Rainier. We bind and gag him and have him take Rainier's place.
That's it. Go back. That's what we're doing.
Okay, if you guys want to do that, let's do it.
I'm putting my foot down on this one.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Yes. Fine.
Excellent plan. Don't see any problems arising from this.
Well, honestly, this dude looks a lot like him. What if we just
Let him get executed
what if
instead.
We just do switcheroo? We're like, and kill an innocent man? She's like, yeah.
Well, I think she said a traitor to the cause, so that probably means he wasn't an innocent man, but yeah.
A traitor in what way? In Liliana's eyes.
Oh, that's true. I will say I will say.
Liliana's like, he didn't say hi to me when I walked into his door.
I will say the last time I do remember in the game her talking about a traitor, it was a guy who was like actually selling out the other spies to the Venatori and getting them killed. So if it's like that, then yeah, I'm fine with that guy getting hanged. Yeah. But yeah, maybe he just didn't say hi to her once. I guess we'll never know.
Some perceived slight.
I will say, let's all.
I already cut out his tongue, so you can't ask him about it.
Yeah, I will say, let's all pretend that it was someone who was definitely bad, and we know for a fact was bad, just so that Blackwall doesn't have to live with thinking another innocent guy died for him.
So even if it's confirmed, let's tell Blackwall that it was just an innocent guy.
No, like
I think he had kids too. He said something about his wife was sick in the hospital and he's just trying to feed his kids.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we could do blackmail stuff. Yes. Do you guys want to blackmail Lord Otranto?
Yeah.
I think we still have to challenge him to a duel as well, but yes. Okay. And then, of course, Colin has to handle this because he's the fighting guy. I suppose I could send one of my people to... I like his hesitance there. I like those little
like, please do not tell me to do this.
Yes. He's just like, please do not make me manage your romantic life for you.
I guess I technically have the sword people.
Yes. I
guess I could send one.
Honestly, I love Colin. He's just...
If you want it.
Alright.
I don't...
Yeah.
Alright. Doesn't he normally say this?
Yeah, he's just like...
He's like, okay.
Please don't make me do this. You know, he's just like, I do feel like Cullen is just the guy who's just dealing with everyone's nonsense perpetually. Oh yeah, we discovered some ruins in the Emerald Groves. We want to explore some ancient ruins. We can do that next time we go back to the Groves. The Emerald Groves are the really gorgeous forest area that we explored. Yes. Okay, we can't take care of the angry Vargas hoarding the water yet, but let's see. Let's see, do we have Liliana? Okay, no, we don't, so we'll have to wait for that a bit. But this is one of the dilemmas: is that eventually there are so many things in the War Table that I'm like, do I do this now or do I wait until the person who I really want to can solve it?
Yeah, it's worth waiting.
Yeah, agreed.
Right,
yeah, like some of the things I really think should be handled by Liliana or by Cullen or by Josie.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes, the fanfic. Remember, it's like the supposed third book in Varric's series.
Oh, is it the punching?
Hard and Hightown 3, the repunching.
The repunching.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes. 2 points. 1, that book is abysmal, and the entire code-breaking department wants to ritually set it on fire. 2, the message is double encrypted. The message in the mistakes is a Merchants Guild cipher. We have not yet broken the guild's code. Oh snap. Okay, the Merchants Guild is like a... Varric is actually part of the guild, I believe. They're like the Dwarven Merchant... Well, they're the Dwarven Merchant Guild. Kinda, in the name. But... Revenge of the Merchant Guild. Okay, so this is one that only Josephine can do. So yeah, we can absolutely have her take care of this. Unsent letter from Varric waits in the war room, addressed to Jarek Dace, Denerim Merchants Guild. Jarek, I need a key to the Merchants Guild cipher from 1 month ago.
Derek and Jarek?
Yes.
Best of buddies in the Merchants Guild?
Yes. Sometimes they pretend to be each other and no one notices. I need a key to the Merchants Guild cipher from 1 month ago, and you still have payments left on the loan house Tethras gave you for your rescue mission to Amgarak. So I think we can make a deal. I get the cipher, and your debt appears like financial magic. Okay, this part's funny. And Nightingale, that's Liliana's nickname. And Nightingale, since I know you'll open this and read this before it gets sent, don't bother to keep a copy. The guild changes their codes every month because dwarves are naturally paranoid. Okay, I'm just imagining reading out that part with Liliana in front of her, and she's just like, damn, I got called out.
She's like, oh, haha. And you're like, no, it's really on the note. They're like, fuck.
Yes.
Let's begin.
I will say
She's
Jarek.
like, tell him I didn't read it, because I don't even care.
Yes.
Jarek gives the same energy as Jareb from the Detour.
Yes. Or it's like what's Lenjamin?
Yeah.
Or Jimothy?
Jarek has a bow and arrow called Blanca.
Yes, Blanca. Oh yeah, we can't make out with her anymore because remember she said, let's see. I feel like we should at least tell her about the duel idea.
This Lord Otranto,
Yeah.
I could force him to give up his betrothal.
want a duel
But you could be hurt. Dueling is a very precise sport.
More hurt.
Men and
Marry
women
him.
spend years perfecting their skills with a rapier.
What about the wound to my heart?
To think of my family putting you in any further danger. Again.
Tell me again about this Antivan lord your parents engaged you to.
Adorno Cielo Otranto. His family runs several shipping companies in Antiva that do very well. Of the man's temper and disposition and habits, I know nothing. Well, mother claims he enjoys sailing.
They're trying to set her up with a man instead of me because they're homophobic.
You don't favor this marriage, Josephine, do you?
Certainly not. If I hadn't met you, perhaps I'd have been amenable, but honestly, you've no worry.
Yeah, she's like, Josephine's like, nah, you're my girl.
Does Antiva law force you to marry? Can't you break off the betrothal?
In theory, I very easily could. In reality, if I reject Lord Otranto without proper niceties, it will scar my family's name. Perhaps ignite a feud. Disentangling myself from the engagement will take months. or years.
Years?
Okay, something that actually didn't occur to me right now. It's interesting looking at this quest in comparison to the personal quest with hers we already had, because, like, the whole point of that was that she was being threatened with assassins because of an old family feud her family had with another family that's no longer noble. So it's like, yeah, it actually makes sense that she'd be really cautious about that, because, again, like, another family feud literally just got some of her servants killed and got her almost killed. So, yeah.
While you're worried about your family, what
Happens to us?
I cannot be with you until the question
Aww.
of disengagement is settled. It is simply not my own reputation. It is my family's. I do not have the right to risk it. As much as I might wish to.
Aww.
Why did this become so dreadfully complicated?
Let's speak later.
We love a good angsty romance, right?
Yeah.
Gotta get some angst in. Alright.
Comfort.
Yes. Okay, now I think we can judge Blackwall. Because we sent another guy to die in this place.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
Dang, Josephine, you gotta be like, man, getting our friend out of prison was expensive. I hate to see you like this. Yes.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret.
Aww.
I know you put another man in my place. Haven't enough died for me.
Yeah, that was a great suggestion, Jordan.
You're judging me, bitch?
I mean, that is a little bit of a... I kind of...
Excuse me, Tom?
I really think you've lost the right to judge anyone.
There's enough evil in the world because of me. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end.
Okay, well,
why would you
you're
stop
running
it?
from something else.
What becomes of me now?
So yeah, we could potentially give him to the Wardens, which I will say, remember, he did want to join the Wardens, so he does kind of like that option. But there's also just setting him free, and I actually will say...
What's the outcome of that?
Let's see. The way that he deals with it actually is nice. I remember the way he deals with the Warden is also kind of nice, but it's also like, I don't know, remember we just dealt with the fact that the Wardens are under the influence of Corypheus, and they're in a weird place right now, so I don't know if I want to send him to the Wardens.
Yeah, they're no good.
I mean, the Wardens are good in general, but right now they're not, let's say, not in their best place.
The whole place was a shit show.
Yeah, they literally just, yeah, so I don't know, it's like, well, I'll tell you this, we can do this one, but I can also show you guys what the other one actually looks like later, yeah. Because both of them are interesting.
You have your freedom.
It cannot be as simple as that.
It isn't. You're free to atone as the man you are, not the
And Sarah approves, because remember, they're best friends. You haven't gotten to see it as much because we haven't taken them out much, but actually, I'll try to take them out when we go hang with Vera, because we might get to see a little more of them, but they're BFFs, and it's great.
What are those two in the bag doing? They're just
If
gossiping.
my future is mine, then I pledge it to the Inquisition. My sword is yours. If I'd said anything less, would an arrow from the rookery have snuffed me like a candle?
Take your post, Tom Rainier.
That's not an answer. So the rookery means like the place where Leliana is. So you're saying if I said anything else, would Leliana have shot me? And I feel like the answer to that is quite possibly yes.
Almost immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, one thing I do like about the setting him free option is that it really does become like Les Miserables, because it's like now you're that priest who, like, set Jean Valjean free. Okay. But yeah, now we're gonna go...
I will say I do enjoy the idea of there just being a weird little peanut gallery during these judgment seminars. Yes. Just those two people being like, oh my god.
I mean, from what I understand, like, public judgments and executions and stuff in real life... Ooh, okay, look, now that we've done his quest, his tarot card changed. Yeah. That image was actually my phone case for a little while because I got it from Redbubble, and it's really cool, you know?
I like it better than his old one.
Yeah, well, it's triumphant. And, like, that's actually a griffin he's riding because there's actually, like, ancient... So, in Dragon Age, it's actually kind of a thing in the lore that, like... The wardens in their prime would actually ride griffins into battle, but unfortunately they're extinct now. So, like, the symbol of the griffin, and you saw he was carving a wooden griffin as, like, a symbol of, like, warden pride. So I think that's cool. It's like his ascension. Okay, so I'm going to take Blackwall, I'm going to take Sarah, and... Let's take Solus. It's been a while. Actually, I will say, also, when we take out other companions with Blackwall, you'll get to see them actually react to the revelation, and all their reactions are interesting. Yes, man.
Inquisitor.
I'm the cheese wheel. Every time I see that, it does make me happy. Bees! And now they panic people more. Oh yeah, and actually there is some blood lotus right here, so let's grab some lotus. Lotus, grab some more supplies. Actually, the actress who plays Janet is named Lottie, and I have made so many Lottie puns.
I was debating doing Janet Weiss for my Halloween costume.
Ooh.
But I also realized I surprisingly don't know the pink dress.
Huh.
Because I would have done for Janet.
Yeah.
Or no, the one where she shows up at the... Yeah. Because I'm like, wait, no, she's wearing something different. But you know what I mean, the white bit.
Yeah.
White,
like she's got like a white cardigan and a pink dress.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, no. So now my options that I'm going with are either Brosnahan, Lois Lane.
Ooh, yes.
Or the giant, like, animatronic robot girl from Squid Games.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
But, because I have, like, the dress, so I just need to find, like, a fluorescent, like, inspired.
You know what you could do? You could just get, like, some really flamboyant dresses and then just, like, wear a necklace in just the right weird way, and then you could be the mom from Playful Kiss. That would be amazing. You could even bring a wig that you put on halfway through the party because it's like your disguise.
And it always has to be, her wigs are for some reason always blonde.
Yes.
That's like the least, like, inconspicuous color.
Yeah. It's like, you know, South Korea, famous for its large percentage of blondes. Honestly, I feel like the funniest interpretation of that is that that's just her wish fulfillment. Like, she low-key wants to be a blonde, but is insecure about it and unwilling to commit. So she just takes the excuse whenever she can.
There's a funny portion there's one where, so later there's like a second love rival that pops up for like the girl. So like there's like this male nurse that like it's like, yo, your husband sucks.
Yeah.
You would be so much better off with a dude who would actually care about you, like myself.
Ah, so he's like the nice guy.
He's kind of like, well, here, the premise is like, when she enters as like a nurse, like all of the other people in her like nursing group are like super interested in her husband, but they don't know that she's married to him. So they're like, oh my god, he's like so cute. But we hear he has like a wife or something. And she doesn't tell them that she's his wife immediately. And so later they find out, and so later when he comes up and shows him. He's like, he talks like the way he normally does, which is like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yo, your husband sucks. Why are you talking to your wife like that? And she's like, oh, he always is kind of like this. And he's like, yo, marriage should be like a partnership.
Yeah.
And so they have like this thing where he feels bad, and then he ends up getting romantic feelings for her. But anyway, the mom is like, she catches wind of like, oh, there might be someone who's like interested. My son might have a rival, and so she goes to scope him out. But she decides to wear all black as her like spying outfit. But the thing is, like, it's a really hot day when she decides to do this. So she's like very hot. She's like wearing like long pants. So she's like almost on the verge of like a heat stroke. And like the guy that she's spying on notices her, and he like gives her like a bottle of water, and he's like, "Ma'am, you look severely unwell. There is a medical facility like nearby that you can go. Like, I will help you." And she's like, "Dang, he's so nice. I would leave my son for him too." But it's so funny because like it's like she's again not inconspicuous. She's like in the middle of like this nursing department with all these people like wearing scrubs and shit and just normal clothes, and she's dressed in like all black, but it's the middle of the day, like in sunglasses. He's like having a heat stroke, and she's like, "Yeah, this is the perfect plan."
That's definitely something. Oh, I just realized I was literally here for Varric's quest, and I literally didn't bring Varric, but
we'll tell you about it when we get home, Varric.
That's okay. I guess we have to do something before we can actually go there anyway, it turns out, so that gives me an opportunity to find a camp and switch people out.
Varric's like, oh, that's a great thing.
I can just imagine, I'm just imagining him, like, tapping his boots, like, ahem, I think you're forgetting someone.
Varric's just, like, silently going around Haven, just being like, I can't believe you didn't take me.
Yeah.
He's complaining to Bianca. He's like,
yes.
You didn't take me on this mission. It's my mission.
Yeah, honestly, I do definitely imagine him having low conversations with, like, Bianca. Like, and also, not only does it remind me of Calvin Hobbes, it also kind of reminds me of, like, I think of, like, Rex the Puppet from Victorious. You know, like, maybe he actually does sometimes, like, actually kind of ventriloquist make Bianca talk to him or something.
Yo, Rex the Puppet was a menace in Victorious.
Yes.
I hated that fucking puppet.
Yeah. Also, have you seen Quinton Reviews' videos about Victorious?
Yeah, that respect to that man for being like, I want to see all of Victorious again.
Yeah, and it's also just like I remember him pointing out that Rex is clearly meant to be black and how weird that is.
Yeah, it was so strange.
Like, I just remember Victorious saying that he's an urban puppet, and I'm like,
That's a white kid.
Yeah.
That's doing this.
Also, like,
and we're all just okay with it.
I will say, like, there are so many episodes of, like iCarly was weird, but there were a lot of episodes of, like, Victorious that felt like a genuine fever dream.
Yes.
I was like, what am I looking at?
Yes.
Like, they're quirky kids, they're in performing arts schools. Like, no, there's still structure in performing arts schools.
Oh yeah, but apparently they have, like 5 different theater classes.
Yeah.
And it's like, they have like, okay, so I'm stuck, so I'm actually just gonna go back to the camp now, and then I'll switch back with Varric.
I will say, I remember seeing like that one episode where it was like their like April Fool's episode or whatever, and it was like swooping everything like all at once. And I literally remember going through that episode, realizing it was nonsensical, and being like, this makes a lot of sense, but also, I still don't know what I just watched. Like, I understand that I'm watching a joke episode, but even the joke, like, I couldn't find it funny, because I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, also, do you remember the episode where Ariana Grande low-key gets several people killed because she accidentally gets, like, a phone line to like a help line, like a 911 calls from people in accidents accidentally get redirected to her phone, and she pretends she's going to help them and then does nothing. So she just gets so she just kind of low-key murders multiple people.
I remember when they announced like Sam and Cat being like, oh, maybe I'll check it out a little. But then I remember hearing about the one episode where like apparently like Cat in like one episode she's like using the tune of take me to the ball game manages to extort a bunch of money from an ATM and essentially commit fraud.
Yes.
And fraud.
I never watched Sam and Cat, but I read about it in Jeanette McCurdy's book.
Yeah.
It was absolutely unhinged, and also they like I haven't read her book, but I've heard like snippets from it, and like
it's really good.
I really do need to read it.
Incredibly
Yeah, honestly, I keep saying we should do a book club, and books that we should have that. We should have Heart in Hightown, and honestly, maybe we should also add the original manga that Playful Kiss is based on to our.
Honestly, it's a crazy time. But there are more. There's like at least like I forget how far it is into it, but there's at least like one chapter. So again, it's like the same where it's like mostly from her perspective, but there's at least like one chapter from his perspective. And it's like about his childhood, and I'm like, oh,
the deep traumatic,
trauma that actually happened to him, and I'm like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense as to why you're like this now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I
was watching that episode. You're just giving me
I think the Inquisition could benefit
the
from
mom
this.
just so offhandedly mentioning it, and just like,
I tried to do what I can here.
Was that episode like 1? Yeah.
It was like like
2, maybe.
I think.
Yeah.
It was like right after they moved into the house.
Yeah.
And she's like in the bedroom.
Like, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the way I deeply traumatized my son. I don't know. Maybe that's why he's so cold sometimes. And it's like, yeah, I think it is.
The mom, right?
I think she like fully understood what she did wrong, why it was wrong, how it fucked up her son, and how he's still traumatized from it. It was just like, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just seems weirdly unrepentant.
She hates her son. She deeply traumatized the one and just completely forgets she has the other one.
To use a Mystery Science Theater reference that I like to use sometimes, we hope you all enjoyed No Morals Theater. That's one of my quotes, like money can be exchanged for goods and services. Yeah, but no, that's just it is truly deranged. I will actually say that like low key, I think I'm glad my mom died, which, by the way, for anyone watching the stream, like, it's just a really fascinating book that Jeanette McCurdy wrote about her experiences on Nickelodeon and her experiences with her mom who abused her and how she dealt with that. That's just, I think, really insightful and worth reading, and her story is really powerful. So just good shout out, y'all should go read this book. I haven't even read it myself, but I've seen snippets, and I know.
She's
yeah.
Incredibly talented writer, and the story is very gripping.
Yeah, and I will say, I honestly do think that would be a great book club book. Like, reading that together, if you're willing to read it short, and like talking about it together, I think would genuinely be really fascinating.
I always thought that one portion from what I know of her talking about like Sam and Cat and how like she wasn't able to pursue other opportunities.
Yeah.
It was basically like locked into Sam and Cat, even though at the same time Ariana Grande
was like allowed to go record stuff and was like, oh, she had a conflict, so they wrote an entire episode where she was trapped in a box.
Yeah. And
Jeanette's constantly being told that she might get like producer credits, she might get this or that, and just to stick around and doesn't get to do anything. Ariana's coming into work and being like, I was hanging out at Dennis Hopper's house, and like kind of pushing out
Yeah, that's just awful, and like the people at Nickelodeon, including but not limited to Dan Schneider, really just do suck. Yeah, I will also say that actually I've heard other similar stories where like just double standards about whether you're allowed to not be there for episodes, because like my favorite Star Trek series, Deep Space Nine, from what I heard, like there is just a lot of double standards from the writers, particularly Rick Berman, who is low-key kind of sexist because like when the guy who was playing Chief O'Brien, who's one of the male main characters, like wanted to, but had other projects to work on. He's like, oh yeah, we'll just kind of write an O'Brien late episode today. But then when Terry Farrell, who played the female character, Commander Dax, like, she's just like, hey, so this season I have other acting projects I'm pursuing. Could I maybe just have a little bit of a lighter workload, like maybe not be here for as many episodes? And they were like, no, and so they just killed off her character in the most unceremonious, fridgy way possible. And I'm like, yeah, go to hell. Like, everyone's still mad about Dax's death because it's just like, again, it's really fridgy. Like, she doesn't even get like a heroic badass death scene or whatever. Like, the bad guy just shows up and he just like kills her with weird space magic, and then it's just, yeah. Yeah.
I really do want to read my mom this, because I've heard so many like good reviews of it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where as soon as it was announced, I'm like, pre-order that shit, and yeah, like right away. This is incredible.
Yeah, and I'm also always like, out of all the iCarly people, I'm always like her even most.
Oh yeah.
Just because she's always seemed like the most like.
Yeah, she seems to have come out of all that to be relatively healthy at this point. She seems very self-aware and like wise and cool at this point. Yeah. We stand Jeanette McCurdy.
Also, like, I always like back when she did music, I'm like, her music actually slaps.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. She's just very multi-talented. Like, the fact that she's like at this point like a successful, not just actor, but also writer and director and so many other things at once. It's just like, it's like, damn, you know? I think I heard that she also did kind of have I'm Glad My Mom Died as like a one-woman performance piece at some point as well. And like, if she did want to like adapt that into like a play or something at some point, I think that could be really interesting.
Also, Jennifer Aniston, like, isn't she like part of a live action thing?
I think she might be, yeah. Yeah, so that could be interesting, I think. And it's just like, yeah, I'm really glad that Jeanette just has the opportunity to process this stuff. And like, you know, because I have, you know, like, I have a great relationship with my parents, but I've definitely had like abusive partners and stuff, unfortunately. And processing a lot of that and things that happened has been difficult, including some things where I was pressured into some things that I was not comfortable with. And you know, hearing about Jeanette's story and seeing her being able to speak about that and be taken seriously, and, you know, I think that's really powerful, and I think there are a lot of people who've been in abusive situations who, like, I think seeing that can do a lot of good. So yeah, I just appreciate Jeanette McCurdy going out there and doing her thing. Actually, something else that just occurred to me is that, like, given how prolific she is as, like, just a creator, I feel like one of these days I'll just be watching some show or playing some game, like an animated thing, and I'll just be like, wait, that voice sounds familiar. I feel like I'll just, like, you know, like, she seems like the person who would just, like, randomly turn up like that, you know? Like how I'm just playing this game and someone's like, you know, Iron Bull's Freddie Prinze Jr., right? And I do remember the first time someone told me that in this fit take. I was like, wait, what? That's fucking... I Know What You Did Last Summer, Fred from Scooby-Doo, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Love a man with legs.
Yes.
What do you need?
Yeah, I'm walking around here partly also just because I want to see if we can get Blackwell and Sarah or anyone to talk, but also just because there are still a couple quests here, and then once we're done with that, yeah, we'll go back to, yeah, I think we'll go find the key, we'll do Varric's thing, and that'll be a good stopping point. About a half an hour, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also, so one other thing about Varric's quest that'll be interesting is the game had talked before about this place called the Deep Roads, like this huge set of underground tunnels that are, like, used to be inhabited by the dwarves, but most of them are crawling with Darkspawn now. You visit them quite a bit in some of the previous games, but this will be the first time in this game that you guys get to see what the Deep Roads look like. It'll be pretty interesting. And you'll also get to see Dwarven architecture, where we can prove something that I've seen people said before, which is that Elven architecture looks like Art Nouveau, and Dwarven architecture looks like Art Deco. Hell yeah. Yeah, like, I remember the Art Deco set that we had for Cabaret. It'll remind you of that, but, you know, less colorful. Oh yeah, also it's fall time, so, you know, leaves are out and it's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, like, they definitely, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but the things definitely are starting to turn more orange and yellow, and it's nice.
I've driven past a couple of trees that have had their colorful foliage.
We'll have our glorious fall.
Yeah, we're gonna be, so my family's gonna be going to Deep Creek Lake, in about a week or two. That's why I'll be missing a couple rocky days, and I'm hoping we still have some, like, leaves on trees by then, because I think that like, it's a nice place up in the hills, and honestly is very good for leaf color.
Yeah, I will say, like where I'm from in Lancaster, like obviously there's trees, but like I feel like Virginia level of trees is like there's a lot of trees here.
Yeah, and I will say, if you really want to get, like, the most gorgeous, like, tree views in Virginia and, like, nearish us, go down to Skyline Drive toward Luray Cavern. Like, just, like, the trees there in the fall are just, like, fucking gorgeous.
Okay, yeah, no, my mom talks about it all the time. Not that specific place, but the fact that, like, you know, every time you come to
Yeah,
yes.
that's the quintessential.
Hell yeah. Jordan knows what's up.
Skyline.
Skyline Drive. And then it's at Luray Caverns, or Luray as the locals actually say. And it's like it's like a cavern you can visit. It's pretty cool. Actually, I feel like we should take Liz there, because in Luray Cavern, there's this big crystal that's like this glowing crystal that the way it's positioned along the cavern, like you run into it multiple times, so it feels like it's following you. So people call it Pluto's ghost. And you know, with Liz's love of like Greek mythology and underworldness, I feel like that'd be her jam.
To the farmers. I appreciate you driving.
It's been a while for me too. Yeah, we should do that. Oh look, speaking of fall, look at these pumpkins. And yeah, remind me, because when we do hang out on the 2nd, I will bring pumpkins and stuff. Actually, because we'll probably have put it away in our house, I probably can bring the jack-lantern we have, because we have like a kind of like, you know, one of those like, I guess like foam or whatever pumpkins we use. We don't have to carve it again every year. I can bring it just so we can have, it's a Darth Vader pumpkin, it's awesome. And I can bring it to really complete the Halloween look. I'll just put it on your table temporarily or something.
Just come with whatever spooky. As always, we're very liberal with the definition of what applies.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at some different countries, I've been reading, and like they're like All Hallows Eve celebrations do often like extend through like November 1st and 2nd, I think. So I feel like we should count it.
Yeah.
Like, cause like you know what, Halloween is a holiday that I think deserves to be multiple days. You know, like Christmas is also like multiple days, because you got like the eve and the day, and in England they have Boxing Day. Like Halloween also deserves to be multiple days.
Like I said with my presentation, I don't think, Jordan, you've probably seen it, the Teo's charcuterie thing.
Oh my god, you're doing something about charcuterie?
No, there's a series on Dropout called Smarty Pants, where it's basically just everyone, a different group of people just come up and do like PowerPoint parties.
Yeah.
And one of them had a man named Teo give a presentation on his like a tier ranking of different charcuterie elements, and this was like the most like contentious presentation I've ever seen, because everyone continuously was like, that is the wrong opinion to have about that thing. Like he was like, cheddar is the best cheese, which absolutely not.
What?
Yeah, it's I mean, cheddar or cheddar jack is like my favorite Cheez-It flavor, but it's not my favorite cheese.
Yeah, like there's so many other cheeses, or he's
I'm a blue cheese gal personally.
I think he said like no like sweet or like fruit stuff, or like no jams or honey.
Excuse me, like you can put like fruit and jams in charcuterie.
Well, I'm gonna send it to you guys. I remember watching, and you were like, okay, I consider myself a pretty non-judgmental person, but I'm like, almost every step of the way, I'm like, that is the wrong place in the tea to put that food on that.
Yeah, you know what? I will also say that like I just thought of what would be a great PowerPoint, because it does honestly fit the Halloween theme. I should do a PowerPoint about how Baksun Joe is actually a nightmare demon.
That would be funny. Mine is gonna, as I've stated, be possibly upsetting ranking, my personal ranking of Halloween candies.
I'm already upset.
Specifically commercially available or standardly, like what you can find.
Common candies.
Common candies. And I'm like, well, this is probably, like, I think people might be upset at where I place something like Snickers or where I place candy corn. Well, Weston might be happy about candy corn.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, so it's like, I do definitely feel like I can bring a lot of evidence to my thesis, because one thing is that, remember, the Nightmare Demon can drain your memories. People always just seem to forget things that Boxing Joe does, you know?
He's always, like, I just find it hilarious how in this series, like, he's just always, like, arriving at places. Like, he just all of a sudden is there.
And no one knows where he comes from. And also, like, he just does douchey things, and then people just kind of forget about it. Oh, here's Sarah and Blackwell.
If that was necessary. Hey, you're here too.
The Inquisition can't be all broody beards like you and Cassandra.
She doesn't have the hair for it.
Oh, I bet she does. Places.
Hey. Sarah be like, does her carpet match the drapes?
We find out this entire time because I was
Actually, remember, Jordan, that thing I said once was do her eyes match the drapes? I think it was a conversation we were having, or I think we were making a joke about someone's eyes matching their hair, or no, some guy asking, I think it was because you were talking about some guy asking you weird questions about your eyes that almost felt like a way to, yeah.
What do you mean if they're your real, like,
Yes.
Are they contact?
Yes, that's right. That's why the guy was asking this, and I was like, do your eyes match the drapes?
Yeah, that's right. He came up to me at summer camp and I was eating and saying, oh my god, you have the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen. I mean, no.
That's just an unhinged thing to say. No, it's like, no, I have two glass eyes. And I actually can't see, I'm just blind. I'm just really, really good at feeling
The genuine
things.
verbatim response was, nope, pop them in every morning, and then I walk in.
They're actually Mission Impossible on, or the one, or the Minority Report eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just an unhinged thing to say. Yeah, like sometimes guys, especially when they're trying to hit on you, will say things that are just like, maybe think about the things you say before you speak them out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, is there more like...
Run it by another human being.
Yes.
More like colored context, but I feel like it's blue eyes on a white person is not a very big...
But also it's just like, even if they were colored contacts...
It's a very odd question to ask.
It's still a weird way to phrase it, yeah, because like their eyes are still real.
And yeah, and it's like, what if they were? It's like, they're beautiful. Oh, no, they're not real. I just wear colored contacts.
Yeah, like, that's
so
kind of...
like, the compliment's negated.
Yeah, like, I get that...
So, like, it just...
Yeah, like, isn't the whole point of the carpet matching the drapes thing, isn't it kind of insulting? It's like, oh, you're not a real blonde. Like, that's not a compliment.
Although I did, for a while, have colored contacts that made my eyes even bluer.
Oh. But I assume you weren't wearing them then.
The Village of the Damned, the creepy little blonde-haired, blue-eyed children. I looked like that. Like, I looked straight, like, possessed demon child. Like, they were too blue. Because they were, like, this deep, dark, like, ocean blue.
Yeah.
Versus, like, my lightish, grayish, slightly blue eyes. Like, they were just really intensely solid blue.
No, I've seen those types of. I remember. Y'all know this. I'm a K-pop fan, and there's a lot of K-pop idols who wear like colored contacts. There was one group that I watched where I was looking at their performance during this era, and I'm like, dang, her eyes are blue. Like they're too blue.
Too much.
They were like an aqua blue. I was like, that is too blue.
Well, so that also is crazy because it's like, to turn, presumably it's a K-pop group, they all have dark eyes. Yeah. To turn dark eyes a different color, part of the reason mine were so intense is because I have lighter wives, so they went. So like, how strong were the ones they were wearing? That like,
Wait, let me show you what I.
It's like the ones that she like straight up can't see.
I have no idea.
I saw this video online on like Reddit where it's like some girl getting like permanent eye color surgery, and everyone's like, "You fucking idiot." She's wearing her puffer coat during the entire procedure. They take it off and they're showing her. Oh yeah, no, that's.
Let me see.
They're incredibly.
What the?
That's
Yeah, that's.
Almost mine are deeper, but.
Yeah, but they're
That's disturbing. Like no one's buying that for a second, or the hair.
Yeah, like that's just kind of terrifying.
I was like, they're too blue.
Oh, but they show this woman and she's like, yeah, I wanted like forest green eyes, and they're like so fucking creepy looking. Like, oh my god, it's. And she's trying to be like, wow, I love it. All my friends are gonna want to get this done. And it's like, what?
Yeah, sometimes they go really into uncanny valley with it, and I'm like, whoa. That's the choice with the.
I will say, if I do this PowerPoint, I may need your help researching all the stuff about Boxing Joe, because I can definitely find all the stuff about nightmare demons and spirits in general in Dragon Age very easily, but you can help me cite sources for all the Boxing Joe stuff. It'll also.
I can already tell even from the side view.
Let me see.
What is happening?
So, this is what this normal woman looks like before.
Yes.
With like an interesting color, like hazel eye.
Yeah, like those are nice eyes.
I was in a pretty eyes.
Yeah. I'll just flash forward to they're showing her at the end. Her new beautiful green eyes.
You can tell actually from the side view. It's not quite the right color of eyes.
Yeah, that's like
it's
some.
Like the most unnatural.
Yeah, that kind of just looks like she's possessed by a green demon.
Yeah, but they no longer have any color dimension to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like she has dead eyes.
Like a lizard alien person.
You know what she looks like? She looks like eyes as designed in a video game character creator screen.
Yeah,
like they're just a singular color.
It's like how a child draws.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Like that's. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't love like the people for their cosmetic decisions. Sometimes I'm like, did you get a friend to consult? Did you consult a friend?
This one's like the fact that they do it all. It's definitely risky and like mindless.
Yeah, it's like discouraging people from doing this. Is, you know, as long as you're not too mean, it's probably a good idea.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
But you had to wake up with those gorgeous green eyes every day.
Girl.
And it's like, you can tell she's not like smiling at the end of it.
Yeah.
She doesn't look super thrilled with those.
Like, at least with contact, you can pop them out at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck with these eyes.
Yeah, that was maybe not a wise decision, especially economically, because I feel like that would be fucking expensive.
You gotta have money. That is not covered.
Yes. Oh, I will say one other thing that will be funny though about if I do that PowerPoint is that like so you guys have both been following Playful Kiss and Inquisition, and like Liz and Jackie have at least been a little exposed to one of those two things. But then like Weston will be so confused and it'll be very fun.
I think I have to source all the lines that Exing just said where my literal reaction is literally just like,
What the fuck are you talking about? Yes.
what did you just say?
Yeah, so I'll compare him to all the cryptic stuff and the way that people just seem to lose their memory around him, and also just the fact that he seems to delight in like freaking people out and getting inside their heads. And yeah, I'm gonna prove he's a nightmare demon who feeds on people.
I have to look into his diaries and source it. There's some really hidden gems in his diaries that you're like, dang. Why do they not have him do voiceovers from time to time?
90s witch rankings. We're gonna have the Sanderson sisters. We're having Barney from Halloween Town.
Ah.
Sandy and Nicole from Practical Magic.
Yes.
You gotta have Sabrina.
Gotta have Sabrina.
Man, the 90s really was like...
can't. Sabrina ran, so all these walked, so all these others could run.
Teen Witch, which I still have always wanted to do as a Halloween costume. Like her outfit with the denim jacket, and the flared out skirt.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that last year when I had like the reddish blondish hair, but
The 90s really were a good time for witches, weren't they?
Yeah, everyone come in whatever Halloween costume you want. I don't care.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I also will say, speaking of Sabrina, did you know that there's a comic book where Archie meets the Punisher?
No.
And the Punisher almost murders him?
Those Archie comics really get crazy.
Yes. Like, let me show you. You need to see the picture of the Punisher putting a gun in it, pointing a gun in Archie, what's his last name? Bunker, I think?
Oh, yes, it's Bunker. I will say, like, now, like, Riverdale and Sabrina being in the same universe, crazy.
Yes.
When did that happen?
Look at this.
Why is it all the way up on his nose? His nostril?
Look at this one. Look at
a crazy
this.
place to put a gun.
This is a real panel from a real comic book. Where the Punisher...
Archie and Punisher.
Yes.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yes.
CW should have just had a comic for this comic.
It should have come in right during that scene where he's in the fucking juvie center going, if you've never been to high school, you don't know the highs and lows and joys of high school football. After the guy says he dropped out of school in 6th grade to start running drugs to help his family.
Yeah.
And that's what Archie comes back with. And it's like, boy, if you don't shut the fuck up right now.
One of my favorite Riverdale moments is when it's I think it's the one with the cult where they're harvesting.
Oh yeah, Shawn Michael.
Aren't there? Wait, hang on. To be more specific, aren't there multiple cults in Riverdale?
Yeah, this is the one that they're taking bodies.
This is the most culty cult.
Okay.
The organ harvesting cult led by Chad Michael Murray.
Is that the one?
Sends his girlfriend to pose as a high school student to help recruit.
Is that the one? Is that the guy? Is that the cult led by the guy who's taking off in a rocket?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's
There's also kind of the culty nuns who run the anti-lesbian and pregnant teen center.
And then there's also the cult that does D&D and worships a demon, right?
Oh, the Gargoyle King.
Yeah, that's the whole Jingle Jangle era.
Jingle Jangle was so stupid.
Jingle Jangle. Shortly after that, but I think I dropped off. It was Jingle Jangle?
Well,
the Gargoyle King? What is going on with these kids?
Well, I dropped after they got powers, so I don't really know whether they got
oh, gosh.
I love the fact that that's a real thing.
The final season apparently there's an alternate timeline, and now they're back in the 50s.
Yeah, I heard about
and
that.
They all forget.
It was so weird, because,
it's if you're running out of things to do, stop this.
It's funny, because their powers were, so uneven, because, Archie was basically, indestructible, and,
I mean, that's, superpowers and everything. Some people have these super awesome, amazing powers, and other people are yeah, I'm here too. Yeah.
Have you guys heard the good word about Arm Fall Off Boy?
No.
Arm Fall Off Boy is a real DC comic superhero, a member of the Legion of Superheroes, and his gimmick is that he can remove his arm, wield it as a weapon, and then reattach it.
And the amazing film Sky High.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's the guy you can turn into slime, I think, or something.
Yeah, he can just melt, but he can't really do much. The guy who just glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the one with the guy with the spit, super spit.
Yeah, the super nuclear spit. He was actually a superhero.
Oh, Astrarium. Okay, so remember, the tip from Chris is you always start with one that has an odd number of connections. So these are odd because they only have one, so I'll start with one of these.
I honestly, it took me so long to realize Danielle Panabaker was in that movie.
It did?
Yeah, I don't know why I never connected. It took me so long.
You never connected that it's oh, she's Killer Frost and she's the Plant Lady.
Yeah, I think it's because, I just did not remember what she looked like.
I mean, that's fair.
Like, I watched that movie when I was a teenager.
Low-key, I will say Danielle Panabaker is very pretty, and I kind of have a crush on her.
No, I've seen that movie so many times.
Okay, yes, we did the odd number thing, and it worked. Thank you, Chris. I'm actually not sure if he's watching it, but if you are, or if you're watching this later, thank you.
That guy is married and has a baby with Maya Erskine from 1015.
But that guy is in one of the Sky High guys?
Yeah, the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sky High, that main...
The main dude, whose name is the only one I don't remember from like the entire film.
Michael Argard, that rings no bells.
Well, because all the other ones are like colors and like dumb names. And I remember War and Peace.
Yeah.
So hot.
Well, the main...
I did not understand Danielle Panabaker not happily running away with War and Peace. Like, girl, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, his character, so Will Stronghold, played by...
Will Stronghold, that's right.
That's, wow, what a name.
I will say one of the things in the Flash, one of the things in the Flash that will always annoy me is introducing, after they introduce like normal Danielle Panabaker as like Caitlin Snow, and then they introduce Jekyll Hyde version of her as Killer Frost, who's like, hey, this is a crazy killer ice lady who looks like Danielle Panabaker, and then they made her straight.
Oh yeah.
Like, excuse me, like the lesbians are going to thirst over her. Come on.
Have either of you seen the show Misfits?
I don't think so.
I've heard of it.
British series.
I heard of it because one of the actors, the guy with, hold on, I know one of the guys in there.
Robert Sheehan.
Yes. Yes. Him.
Love. That's where I fell in love with Robert Sheehan, was that show, and basically his character is just like this smart ass, but like these juvenile delinquents are out during the middle of the storm, outside during the storm with powers. So it's like the powers of the main group. One guy is invisible, one guy is super speed. Other girl can do. One of them, anybody she touches desperately wants to touch. One guy, Robert Sheehan's character, thinks he's the only one who can get any powers until the end of the season when he dies, and they find out he's immortal.
Oh.
Because he wakes up in his grave, and they have to like go get him out.
Oh no.
But the best is like there's the scariest episode is like they come across this one guy whose power is like he can control milk, and they're like.
What? I have many questions about this.
It's like you can control milk, and we're all like, cool power, bro.
So like, can he only can he manipulate milk that's already there, or can he actually summon milk, or like?
It's like all milk.
So it turns out that it's like specifically something like lactic acid or whatever. Because basically what it boils down to the end after they dismissed him this whole time, it's like this guy can't do shit. He can move milk, and it turns out it's whatever like enzyme is in milk that you can also control within your body, so you can just keep making you have like seizures and strokes. Like,
oh shit! Okay.
Over and over again, and it starts doing it to the immortal guy. It's like die all these days.
Well,
so,
shit.
Like, he's just being tortured over and over. Like shit, the milk guy.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because I was about to ask, wait, can he waterboard people with milk? But
presumably, but yeah, it was just like it was such an out of left field. Like, wait, what? Oh fuck! What was one girl's power?
the reason
it's all based on like their own insecurities and like. So, like,
wait, is he insecure about milk, or does he have like a breastfeeding fetish?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, that's actually Homelander.
Yes, he's Homelander. Yes, although not with any of Homelander's other powers.
Yeah.
Yes, his weird Brett milk thing. Yes, with that lady who's like his mom girl, played by Yeah, Elizabeth Shue, yeah. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, so it's like this huge wide range of like the usefulness of your powers. So it's like, on the one hand, it's like, okay, it's fun when you're like trying to make out with your boyfriend, but then it's like, they don't want to stop.
Yeah.
It's like they're badass, all they
I mean, in The Witcher, they actually, so they have their own version of succubi, and like the thing about succubi is that they often aren't necessarily evil or trying to kill people. The problem is that once they have sex with people, it gets super addicting, and it becomes hard for their prey to the person who they're having sex with to stop. And so often, without even really realizing it, they end up essentially causing their partner to just like orgasm to death because they're just doing it too many times, and then they die. So it's kind of like that.
The meme of like X-Men, of like Rogue being like, "There's a way for us to get rid of our powers," and Storm being like, "Why should we get rid of our powers? There's nothing wrong with us."
And like Rogue kills people she touches.
Like, control storms to the person who kills everyone she touches.
Yeah. Which I actually saw someone say that not only is that funny, but it's actually kind of a decent commentary. Yeah, but it's also like kind of a decent commentary on the problems with like a lot of disability activism, because there are people with disabilities who quite reasonably genuinely want to be cured, and there are other people who are also like, no, the idea of being cured is insulting, and it's like, you know, yeah.
Similar vibes. AHS season 3 coming. That to manifest the first time she has sex with her boyfriend, he dies, and her powers when she has sex with people, they die.
Yeah.
Which she uses to kill a rapist in a hospital at the end of the first episode.
Yeah. And I will say, like, yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing with disabilities, especially also, like, between different kinds of disabilities. Like, if you have people with, like, chronic pain disorders, I think a lot of them would absolutely love to be cured. But then with a lot of people who are, for example, deaf and blind, like, I think understandably they find that idea insulting. Like, I don't want to be cured. I want society to accommodate me as the person I am.
Yeah, there's Switched at Birth, so...
Oh, God.
Was a crazy time, but they did do, like, they tried to, you know, as best as a 2010.
Or whatever the dark-haired girl name was. That poor Bae.
She was always on
just
the
like,
short end of the stick.
Everyone's family was more excited about Daphne.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
I know, like, Daphne turned
Bae's
out to be
family
horrible.
wanted to be with Daphne, like, Daphne's family wanted Daphne and didn't really want Bae. It's like poor Pig got so sidelined.
Yeah.
Did you see the one episode where, I don't know how far you, but there's like,
not very far.
There's one episode, so this is in like season 4, where like they're in college. Well, okay, Daphne's technically in college.
Oh yeah, there are some bad guys fighting bears. I say let's watch them fight the bears and then just kill whoever survives.
Good wrapping up.
Yes, we are. I'm about to head over to the yeah.
But there's a scene in Switched at Birth where like Daphne's in college, Bae is at home on house arrest because she took the fall for Daphne's crimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, she goes to this. She's like, oh, I need to have this. I want to be a doctor, so I need to have this chemistry class. I need an interpreter for my chemistry class. So she's talking to this guy who's a coda. Or a child of deaf adults.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you took chemistry and you can sign. You are the perfect person for my specific team. And he's like, no. Initially he's like, no, I don't want to interpret for you because I hate the professional of your class. I will not be in a room with this person.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And she's like, I did some horrible things. I need to make what my sister is doing worth it. And he's like, by taking a Chem 1 class. Like, yes.
You don't understand. It's incredibly important.
And that argument actually works. He becomes her interpreter.
Why?
Okay. Yeah, I will say Star Trek, so when Star Trek Next Generation actually had a very interesting episode, where they like meet a society that's essentially some kind of genetically engineered kind of eugenicist society where like everyone is programmed from birth to have like the perfect genes and everything, and there's no disabilities. And then like they have a whole thing where like so Jordy in Next Generation he's blind, right?
Yes.
And like they actually show they have there's a whole thing of that this society is in danger because their son's gonna go like supernova or something. And actually there's something that's like Jordy's visor that actually ends up being part of the solution, and he points out the actual irony and the limitation of their society, which is that his society has actually went out of their way to accommodate people who are deaf and blind instead of just erase them. And it's actually made them stronger, by actually trying to, like, make a society that's inclusive for disabled people. They've learned things and become a better society, and the eugenicist society has missed that. And I think that's a really great message,
Let's have them. For at least Newspaper, they do try and implement a lot of that, like the deaf community. Like,
Yeah.
they talk about, like, there's a plot line where, like, there's a deaf character named, like, totally deaf character, and also the son of two deaf parents.
Yeah.
And his name is Emmett. And he's upset, at one point he's upset at his dad because his dad wants to get a cochlear because, well, he doesn't like being deaf, but
Yeah.
he's like, if you get a cochlear, like, you're gonna, like, what does that mean? And then there's a whole scene with, like, him and, like, Marley Matlin where she's like, do you want to get the cochlear? And he's like, well, am I giving up my identity as a deaf person if I get this cochlear? Because my son is also mad at me because of it. And she's like, he's your son, but it's also your deafness. Like, you get to decide your identity as a deaf person.
Yeah.
Whether you get the cochlear or not.
Yeah, that's also good commentary. I like that.
Like, get the cochlear if you want the cochlear. Like.
Yeah. It's like you're not obligated to be a spokesperson for deafness if you don't want to be. If you want to.
Yeah, and so he does end up getting the cochlear, and so it's like, you have, like, obviously, like, the son who's, like, he's very immersed in deaf culture. He goes to a deaf school. He has deaf friends.
Yeah.
His parents are deaf. Like, he's very, like, proud to be, and his mom was saying, like, we also have his dad having a cochlear and being married to a hearing person who has learned ASL, or who knows ASL. And so you have to talk about that. That was interesting for the time. It does sometimes read as a show about, like, death.
Oh, by the way, just for context, we're going here because here's the key to the thing that they're. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, you were saying, Mai?
No, sometimes it does read as a little, like, a show about deaf culture, but also made for hearing people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's one episode where it's like, it's entirely like no verbal, like, you do not hear any spoken dialogue. They mute it all out, but they still put background music over it.
Okay.
So it's like one of those things that, like, if you wanted the full immersive experience, would you not have just made it silent?
Master of None actually had a segment of, like, came into different people's lives and you were like, had a segment of deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the all-time best, not that best, but in terms of that type of storytelling, BoJack Horseman, there's no water, there's no dialogue. It's just him visually acting out the story.
That does sound very cool.
BoJack Horseman, there's some things, like, one episode that everyone was the last one. The entire thing was just his eulogy at his mom's funeral. Okay.
I always like that. Yeah. I always like that quote from BoJack Horseman where it's like you can't just keep feeling sorry for things and then doing them over and over.
There's a lot of people that show I watch, but it is.
Yeah, I really need to watch it.
I hear it's a very good, like, surprisingly very good, like, commentary on mental health.
It's probably one of the best depictions of, like, depression, and there's one episode where it's just like you can hear his probably stupid piece of shit. You can hear the internal monologue beating himself up all day, and I was like, that hits so hard.
It's funny, like, since, like, crazy
Key.
ex-girlfriend are like shows that like growing up, like you feel so isolated, but then you see a show like that and you're like, oh, other people have that same thought.
Oh, I will say, fun fact. So, letter from the Carta. We hired your mercenary org to facilitate this business venture, not add complications. In order for the Carta, like the Dwarven Mafia, basically, to extract the product without attracting undue attention, the area must be free from observation. If the fighting between the apostate mages and renegade Templars is insufficient, your efforts were to dissuade refugees from exploring the area and interfering with their operations. We're meeting at our primary base of operations in Valimar to determine the next course of action. At your earliest convenience, send representatives to the location marked to explain the situation and gain new instructions. Whoever the Red Templars are, they become very interested in the area. Their presence suggests a familiarity with the product, meaning red lyrium. That can't be a coincidence. Focus on eliminating them, ideally in such a way to place blame on the Inquisition forces in the area. Okay, so this is actually... So, a while back when we were in the hinterlands, we found a bunch of guys, a bunch of, mercenaries who were, bandits who were attacking people, and then, an Inquisition soldier was like, well, they're really weird bandits because they actively, pursue people, but they don't actually seem to take anything, and they seem to just want to get people to go away, to leave, so they want to scare people off from the road, and, that's what's going on. So, these are guys who were hired by the Carta, who are mining the red lyrium that we're about to be investigating, because they have the key to the place that, So they're hiring mercenaries to keep people away from the road while they're smuggling red lyrium here. Which I think is a neat little detail. It's like we're solving a mystery. Alright, and now to the deep road. Singular. I just said deep road. And we have Varric, thankfully, now. He's like, yeah, guys, you didn't remember to bring me on the caravan when we drove down here, but I'm glad you stopped to let me catch up.
Bring the dwarf on the commission to Dwarven territory.
Yes. The guy who's literally like, hey, I hate red lyrium, we need to destroy red lyrium. My girlfriend, who may or may not be my crossbow, is telling us that she figured out where the red lyrium was going, and you didn't bring me on the red lyrium thing. That she, with my girlfriend, who may or may not be a crossbow. Okay, the way I'm saying that just makes me think I'm Emperor's New Groove is like, oh yeah, Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. Same energy. You alright, Jordan? This is a cool little waterfall, I will say. And also, another good thing about being in the hinterlands is that there's just so much blood lotus. For bees! Honestly, and yeah, we really should have a game where you can just have a big marsh paddy where you can just grow tons of blood lotus and then you can harvest bees. So I wonder why it is that blood lotus, these blood lotus flowers, do bees just really like pollinating those flowers? I don't know. Valimar. Oh yeah, and also Jordan, so you will know this. So when you get to the deep roads, it will remind you immediately of the Mines of Moria, and there's a reason for that. You will see some pretty direct inspiration there.
Finally. Started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
Why would the containers need to be protected?
Lyrium is incredibly dangerous in its raw form. It can poison or kill dwarves, and we're resistant to it. Sometimes it just explodes. No warning.
Basically, only crazy people mine lyrium.
The mining cast doesn't just sling it into a bucket. It's carried in special containers that keep it under control. And that's normal lyrium. The red stuff is worse. I wouldn't be surprised if most of their miners die just digging it up.
You seem to know more about the effects of red lyrium than most.
Varric told me plenty about what it did to him. And his brother.
Yeah. The in Dragon Age 2, the Red Lyrium killed Varric's brother, or drives him insane. Like either way, he's not in the picture, which is why we don't see him. He's like either dead or I think in an insane asylum.
How did you find this operation in the first place? There must be hundreds of Deep Roads entrances.
I've used this entrance in the past. Varric's not the only surface dwarf to explore the Deep Roads. Oh, I've got to admit, I was pretty surprised when I came here and found it full of humans.
If you're coming with us, I hope you can handle a fight.
No, I thought I'd cower helplessly while you do all the work.
She's a decent shot.
Decent?
You want me to admit you're better than me in front of the Inquisitor?
Let's not waste any more time, shall we?
But yeah, see what I mean? It's like the Dwarven ruins, they're very Art Deco. Which again, like, it is kind of funny seeing how, like, people who are writing fantasy settings are just clearly, like...
Trade, maybe? Your guess is as good as mine.
Like, borrowing ideas just from, like, art movements around them. Oh, also, look at these cool-ass statues. I am a dwarf and a digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. You guys heard that song? Yeah. Yeah, actually that was loud enough I didn't hear your answers. What was did you say? Well, I will show you it again, especially in, because it's kind of a meme-y song about dwarves digging holes that the Deep Roads always make me think about. Alright, I think, yeah, once we kill these guys, I'm gonna save and we can finish the rest of this next time. We've mostly just been fighting, again, like, Carta guys so far, but as we get found deeper into here, we'll actually see some Darkspawn, and, it'll get a lot more Mines of Moria feeling. And, like, we fought, so Darkspawn were a really important part of previous games. We haven't fought many of them so far. I think we got a few in the Storm Coast, but very limited experience. But now we're going to get to see exactly why everyone is fucking terrified of these things. And why they're like, yeah. Alright. Save. So yeah, we got a lot of interesting things boiling over here, We got like Blackwall, it's like, oh yeah, hey, I'm Jean Valjean, except I killed people. Josephine is like, oh no, you're gonna have to duel a guy, or actually she's like, please don't duel the guy, but we're gonna make me marry him. And then like Varric is like, hey, you guys wanna go meet my girlfriend and we can destroy some Red Lyrium, and
Really, no, actually,
we're gonna leave you behind. Yes. Yes.
You can just hang with your girl.
Yeah, Varric, go get your stuff ready. Alright guys, let's go.
Yes.
Varric comes out and says, wait.
Yeah. I feel guilty because